describe the turnout yesterday in the various districts and
between the Senate bearer and press. And at the end of the Senate bearer speech interaction, there will be three questions from the press. Thank you, Mr. President.
And again, it is about the trip, sir, your impression and what you think that when people need to know about impression. No, not statement. So what is it? You're just giving them your impression about the trip, and then they ask you a few questions. Let the first question go.
So, I'm Pastor Joseph Nima Boakai. This is FM. My name is Daniel Hu. The Liberian people want to know about how cognizant are you of winning Bomi County today as part of the visit?
For me, first and foremost, my second county. I grew up right here in Tubman from childhood, and the people of this county, they know very well my roots here. And besides that, we have done a lot of activities here, and let them know that I'm very serious about the Tubman. We have discussed a lot of projects that we have in mind that will reactivate the economy here. And I have no doubt that people in Birmingham are going to vote for me over.
so I'm Jasper F. Andrews. I report for Talk TV Media Network. Per the visit yesterday we did in some communities and districts, how was it? How do you describe the turnout yesterday in the various districts and places we passed yesterday?
Begin with the reception at the entrance. Immediately across the bridge was very impressive. I didn't expect that. The crowd, and then we went right to the town hall. We had very good news. Everywhere we have gone, we've been received very well. The crowd has been overwhelming, and we give, and in fact, including last night, we went to school market. As late as we arrived there, the crowd we met there was not a crowd I was expecting. It means that the people are on board, and we want to express our gratitude for that because they didn't need to be there that late. But to show you that we are loved and they are very, very much ready to give us a one round victory.
So, Ambassador Baka, my name is Thomas Tifelas Ali. I report for Bourgeois Radio D1598.1 FM. So, you've been in Bomi County several times looking at the condition. What are some of the things you think the people need most when it comes to the county conditions?
You know, of all the cities that I've in this country, for me, it's one of those that I rarely feel bad about. Not only that, I grew up here, but this is one place where, with all of the activities I've gone here, the lives of the young people have not been touched. There's nothing to show. It's a ghost city where mining has taken place, and you can't see a trace of anything. When I grew up here, the workers here were making 4 cents an hour. Can you imagine that? So you couldn't even build a decent house. I have talked about opportunities here. This is the place where I want to take the old LMC place there, make it into a furniture manufacturing place. And we have in mind with a lot of, in fact,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to every one of you guys. This is J. Randy here. We are about to begin my Sunday broadcast, and this will be the only broadcast for today. I want you to embrace yourself because right now it's almost 8 minutes to the top of the hour. We are going to drag this thing from now probably to 5:30. We are going above our limit today because there are a lot of things that we have to unpack in terms of information dissemination. Today is the first day of October. We are beginning to count down this election. So I want to make sure that I gave you everything that you need to know, that when the day comes, you will be adequately informed and prepared to understand why you believe that Mr. Weah is going to be and should be the best president of the Republic of Liberia. But before I begin, I want to take you back in memory lane. What made J. Randy so very, very extraordinary? You are about to watch a very important video. I don't want you to just want to look at the picture. I want you to understand what you are going to listen to. What you are going to listen to when it comes to what J. Randy said almost 6 years ago. Right after that, we'll come back and then we'll start to open up and start to go deep and deeper. I encourage you to grab yourself a bottle of water. If you're driving, you need to get somewhere closer and park the car. If you're in the comfort of your home, well, stretch out, get your lazy boy, sit in your chair, because J. Randy is here to unleash one of level 3 of my presentation as it relates to understanding the culture, the process of Liberian politics. Next thing I ask you for, I see people are sharing the video right now. Thank you guys so much. We are broadcasting on YouTube. And before we do that, let me just try to bring that up for you guys so that way you guys can be up to speed in regards to that. If you're just joining me here for the first time, well, I would like to say welcome to you. This is our platform here. All right, so let me just show you guys here. This is the J. Randy Show here. You are welcome to be with me and let's discuss. This is our vision here for the show. We believe that we must accurately teach our country, history, and event in order to reconcile and move on. You can read the rest. You can do a screenshot of the rest. Next thing on our list, these are the different medium on which we are broadcasting right now. We have the J. Randy J. Dapple Show. We have the Universal View of J. Randy. And then, of course, we have the YouTube. We encourage you to go on YouTube in order for you to be able to also follow us on the social media, especially on YouTube. With that being said, I would like to present this thing to you. Today is the 1st of October. I want to take you on memory lane. By the time I get back, we have a lot of things to discuss. Today, a question was asked of me by a friend of mine, and I want to leave the question here. This is the question here for you guys to see. What George Weah is doing for Liberia. This is where we're going to base our conversation. This is where we're going to actually discuss. There are details. That question contains 5 reasons that I'm going to present here today. And I want you to invite a new friend. And I want you to share this in your group. We are not here because we want to just please one group of people. No, we are here to present to you what we think the Liberian people need. So I want you to listen to what was said in 2017. Yes, in 2017. I want you to listen to that. All right? Yes, I want you to listen to what was said in 2017. I've been around for a long time. And we have kept a lot of video of ourselves and those who participated with us. Let's get into memory lane here right now and present to you J. Randy back in 2017. I want you to listen to what J. Randy is going to say, because there's something the president said in Nema County that reflect on what we said. Let me now open the bag. I want you to be the one to open the bag. So let's start.
Hi, I'm trying the video again. If you're out there and you can't hear me, please just type Y for yes or YES so that I may know. Let me try it here to see whether you guys can hear me, all right? I'm gonna have to find myself here and see. All right, let's see here. You guys can hear me. Yeah, I think you got, yeah, I can hear myself here now. So I think I should be good to go. Yeah, I think I should be good to go now. All right, I should be good to go here. let me try to get some folks. If you don't mind sharing the video for me, I will appreciate that. But I would like to like share it with few groups so that folks can join me here. It's not going to be long. As you can see, the title out there: constructive suggestion and advisory warning to President-elect George Weah. I have some information through suggestion, my suggestion, to share with him, and I would like you guys to be part of this suggestion because it's going to be kept into the technology history so that whatever I'm going to say, whether it come to fruition or it done, you guys will know that I once said it, and you will be on record to prove whether I was right or wrong. So let me do something quickly here to the last group here, and then be able to start the whole thing, the ball rolling here. Okay. Okay. So I think I'm good to go. So again, I would like to thank everyone who have joined so far. My coming here is something special today. Usually it would be Tunis and myself on the CDC Hour USA show, but today I decided to come solo because I have a personal message for President-elect Senator George Weah, not as a citizen, but this time around as a professional. You know, let me thank all citizens and all meaningful Liberians for supporting our peace process in our country. It showed to the world that we are making progress in the direction of becoming one of the successful democratic republics on the continent and in the world. And, you know, when I saw what Mr. Borga did yesterday, I was very amazed. Tears came down my eyes because that was almost like in the United States where the loser will send a concede message to the winner. Having said that, guys, I want to also thank all the citizens for standing very strong behind Ambassador Weah, now President-elect Weah, for the past 12 years. I mean, you guys are proving to be very strong in everything that you plan to do. And looking at Senator President now elect Senator George Weah to lead us in the direction we want to be. But here's what I have to say. I know you guys want to join me, but please just give me 10 to 15 minutes. I would like to say a few things so that we can have this conversation, please, because it's very important. I want you to get this point so that we can have this conversation. It's very, very important. So please just give me 10 to 15 minutes. Now, here is what I want to say to President-elect George Weah. Our people of Liberia overwhelmingly elected you as president. Now you are president-elect. Based on that, they are invested their interest in you, and they look forward to you leading them to some sort of good life. Is it going to be quick? Absolutely not. Here what it's going to take. It's going to take your platform with your vision and your goals to achieve whatever you want for the people of Liberia. That said, President-elect, you are not president for Madam Salif. You are not president for the coalition. You are not president for me, Randy. You are not president for Dave Kaye on here. You are not president for my brother Armstrong. You are not president for Saib Bangura. You are president of the Republic of Liberia, in which everyone that are named so far are part of that country. You now represent everyone within our country. What I think you need to start to look at first is the issue of reconciling the country. That should be the first step, and that should be done simultaneously. Second issue here is when it comes to how you place people in government. This is where my 4 suggestions are going to start. Suggestion number 1. I have 4 suggestions, so guys, I want you guys to listen to that. I have 4 suggestions. Suggestion number 1. I saw a lot of folks who came from other political parties to join you in our effort. I appreciate that. That's what I call partnership. The partnership with you in order to have you elected. Kudos to them. But the people of Liberia, in and outside the country, know the work ethics, know the scorecards of Mr. Eric Starter, Mr. Weston Finley, Mr. Glenway McIntosh, Mr. Winston Tappet, Mr. Professor Suni. The people of Liberia know their scorecards. So suggestion number one, I would suggest to you that those gentlemen I just named, they should be on your advisory board. They should serve as an advisor to you. The reason they should be in that role is because the people of Liberia have seen what they have done. They have what I would describe as their scorecard. They know their capabilities. So suggestion number one is to put those guys on your advisory board. Suggestion number two, when it comes to your cabinet and your directors, I want you to have that open vision, because right now there are a lot of people who have surrounded themselves around you, preventing other people from getting closer to you. That is not healthy. What is healthy is for you to have that portal between Liberian in the diaspora and local Liberian, because that will give you the opportunity to flex your understanding of how things should be done. Because why? Almost everyone in Liberia, you Ambassador Weah, know what their work ethics are, what are their performances. You know it all. Nevertheless, you can still bring them on board. That said, when it comes to your recruitment process, I want you and your team, your transitional team, to be able to bring in and vet the best. Suggestion A on suggestion 2, whoever you're going to select as your minister for any ministry, let that person doing your interaction with them or your team be able to come up with a 3 years vision plan for that ministry. 3 years vision plan for that ministry. The reason for doing that is to effect changes. That also goes to your directors. Whoever you're going to appoint as your director should also be able to come up with a 3-year plan to effect that agency performance. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I'm an analyst. President Johnson's study became a massive failure, which caused Booker to lose this election because he had no record that Eddie Johnson's study was able to establish for the past 12 years, and it failed. And the reason for that is people handpicked people, whether it was in Liberia, whether it was abroad, and took them to President Johnson's study. And all she did was to take them and put them in position without even asking them for their credentials. Now, still speaking about that credentials, Mr. Eugene Fagon, if you don't know Randy, you're going to know me. I admire everything you did to Mr. Boyka. I'm a citizen, you're a citizen. Having mentioned what I think Ambassador Weah should do for whoever he's going to put in the cabinet position or in the director position, whoever will be chosen for every ministry, Mr. Fagon, you and I have to make sure that we present that person education, we present that person work experience to show to the Liberian people that that person is indeed was vetted and we have seen what that person is made of. If you cannot do it, I will do it. Because you know why? The failure in the past has been government officials from the president have failed to vet people. They only took people who they had close association with and they put them in position. That is why you saw President Sharif just keep reshuffling, because she didn't have that vision to determine what she really wanted to get out of her platform. Ambassador Weah has used his platform to tell the people of Liberia that he will bring up a change. So as member of the CDC team, before we take the cow to the waterside, I want to make sure that it's a healthy cow. What do I mean by that? Before President-elect George Weah take office, I want to make sure that I be on record to tell him what I'm telling you now. Because I predicted that Mr. Trump was going to win this election because Hillary Clinton baggage she had. He did win the election. I predicted in March that Ambassador Weah was going to win this election because Ellen Johnson said he had failed to execute what she should have done. Now I'm saying to Mr. Weah, what I just said, You must be able to listen to me and be able to at least process what I'm telling you so that you can become successful. Now, that said, when it comes to check and balance in the system, you represent the people. You do not represent the national legislature. You do not represent President Salim. You do not represent the Supreme Court. You represent the people of Liberia. That said, I want you in your term of office to have your press call at least 3 days in a week, to have them invite the press team to sit and listen to your press secretary, giving them an update on what you are doing to meet the needs of our people. The reason for doing that is to create check and balance in the system. I'm not saying you should do it the way Trump is doing it here. I'm saying as president, you came with a vision. That vision was in your platform. We discussed that platform here for you. Now we want to see the effect that it's going to have. It is one thing to have the plan. It is another thing to brief the strategy and ideas into that plan. And that is what I'm trying to present to you here. So I would like to see, on a weekly basis, you have an update. And that update is your obligation to the people of Liberia. Again, you are not president for president. You are not president for Ellie Johnson Sirleaf. You are not president for Gregory McIntosh. You are not president for Professor Tappe. You are not president for Bertrand Finlay. You are not president for Mr. Sunni. Also, I want you to also maintain institutional knowledge people. That is from the assistant director down to the janitor in every ministry, in every agency. That's what we call institutional knowledge. These people understand how the agency works. They understand how the ministry works. Those are the institutional knowledge of people. Those are the people you have to maintain. Now, when it comes to performance, I will also want you to have a council that will monitor all the performances of the ministers, your directors. The reason for doing that is to determine whether your goal is being achieved. Because when it comes the following year for you to give your State of the Nation address, each ministry should be able to outline to you what they have achieved from that goal they gave you, what are the challenges, and how are they going to solve those problems. During your inaugural speech also, Mr. President-elect, I don't want you to say, I promise to do this. No. So many leaders have promised and they have not been able to deliver. I want you to talk about solutions as to how you're going to find ways to improve the living standard of our people. Be able to say that in your speech. Do not say, I'm going to promise you, because history has shown that a lot of promises haven't been realized because people promise, but they don't plan before they promise. So please, I'm saying this because I was on my show with Tunis. We defended you, and this is the time now that I got to provide these constructive suggestions and warning to you. Failure to follow this instruction, Mr. President, you're going to go right back into the sea swan, and the people are going to start criticizing you. And those who think that I'm looking for a job, you're going to see me because I will be here to provide constructive criticism about Ambassador Weah government. I am not saying this thing for you guys to hit me. I want for Ambassador Weah to succeed because I'm an individual who have been in so many places that I have been able to contribute to the success of wherever I work. That is why I'm saying this thing here. Now, when your ministers are confirmed and are given the opportunity to serve you within the first 60 days, they should be able to come up with that 3-year vision plan they gave you. They should be able to come up with a smart goal strategy that will tell you how they want to achieve those things. Take, for example, if you take somebody for the Ministry of Agriculture. Right now, we are importing pepper, all kind of crap that we can use on our soil. Liberia is not on the ocean where we don't have land. We have a vast land. So let the Minister of Agriculture, in his plan, be able to tell you how can he or she increase rice production, how can he or she increase like soybeans, corn, how can we turn those things into process in order to create production in our country. Because any country that continues to export raw material, it is not going to increase economic growth. So let them be able to do these things. Secondly, I was very disappointed in Madam Salif when she took the Ministry of Planning and Economic Affairs and put that underneath the Ministry of Finance. That was wrong. Here's why. The Ministry of Planning is to project the economic strength of our country in terms of our resources. It is also responsible to determine the exponential growth of our population. That ministry should be a stand-alone ministry. They are also responsible to carry on planning in the rural areas that involve all the other ministry performance. That was wrong on Manaseri's part to do such a thing. So another suggestion to you is to be able to take that ministry out of finance and make it a stand-alone ministry. All right? That would be suggestion number 3. All right? On the check and balance system. Now, the final part here, the final suggestion to you, Mr. President-elect, is to be able to stay away from Madam Salif. You can listen to what she has to tell you, but you don't necessarily have to follow them. You must have open-minded people. You should bring in bright ideas, bright minds. There are many Liberians out here in America, in Europe, in Thailand, in Australia. Try to seek for these people. Look for them. Because the more fresh idea you bring into your government, they are not part of the traditional society of folks that include Mr. Tyler, Mr. Weston Finley, Mr. Winston Tapper, Mr. Greyway McIntosh. When you bring those folks out to join you, they are not going to work in your government. Some may want to work, some may want to consult. But the reason you bring in that idea together is to make sure that you get a refined decision that will help you. Because people that come from the outside coming with a lot of vision that they can give to you. That is why I'm appealing to you that those folks that just name and continue to name should be on the advisory board and not in your cabinet or on your directory staff within the area that you have total control, because it's not going to help. So again, Mr. Fagon, I want you to join me. Let us be able to show to the people of Liberia, to the critics of Ambassador Weah, that whoever he's going to select to serve in these different positions, we need to make sure that that individual resume, because once you are in government, your record is public. There are certain records we cannot present, but things like your educational credential, your resume, your work experience, your ethics, these are things that I would suggest that we present to the people of Liberia. And the reason we're doing that is to assure them that Ambassador Weah is indeed making a very considerable choices of our people, so that when they start to perform and they don't perform well, whether it's Mobile Malu, whether it's Magale, if they don't meet the performance level of your government, tell them, my brother, we can find somewhere else for you to perform. Because what you will be telling them is, I represent the people of Liberia. They expect more from me, but I have to strategize ways in how I can achieve the more they want from me by making sure that I put plan into action, and action deliver results, and result will be evaluated, and then we can continue to look for another performance to increase other area. So having said that, guys, I want to stop here because it's not something long. I just want to make sure that this message be shared with Ambassador Weah, because right now I have been here trying to support him. I cannot get.
All right, guys. So thank you guys so much. That was in 2017. Just in case you want to see the original post, let me just share a quick screen with you guys here. If you want to see the original post, it's coming up for you guys shortly here. Let me open up. This is the original post here. All right. So the post is coming up for you guys to see shortly. That is the original post. Let me just come back here and lower myself here a little bit so you can see the original post. I'm going to completely take myself out so you can get to see the original post. There go the original post there for you guys. Yes. So that's the original post there for you guys to see. Yeah, so let me just get to the screen right here. So as you can see, that's the original post there. All right. As you can see, that is the original post. This post here, it came out here. We did this broadcast here in 2017, as you can see right there. See why I got it highlighted December 30th, 2017. On that week of that time, we have about 18,000 people watching us. So we are not about numbers when it comes to what we do, folks. We are not about numbers. We are about just giving the information out there. So that was December 30th, 2017, when Mr. Weah, Kennedy Weah, was declared president elect. That when I came out by myself to present this conversation here. So let me stop the screen there, right? And then let us come back to our regular broadcast. This is J. Randy here. Thank you guys so much. The reason I'm showing this thing here is because, guys, I'm a very consistent person. Things that I say, I'm not just saying it because I want to say things, but things that I say are things that are already archived into my history. So if I come here and tell you, say, oh, this is that, this is that, it's up to you to want to believe me or not. But I know that what I'm saying is going to be my legacy on social media as it relate to Liberia. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity. With that being said, we are about to get into the nitty and gritty of today's conversation. So the question here is, what George Weah is doing for Liberia. This is what we're going to actually discuss in detail. But before we get to that part, there are a few things that I'd like to clear off my chest right now. Let me see what I can hear myself here. All right. All right, I can hear myself very good, so that's great. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity, and please share the video out there if you don't mind sharing the video out there. All right, and I look forward to your comments. If you guys want to call into the show, let me know. If you want to call into the show, I can turn off the phone. Turn on the phone right now. Let me see what I can turn on the phone right now. In the meantime, let me just put this guy picture up here. I want you guys to take a look at this guy because there's something we have to understand about this gentleman here, and it's very important that you guys understand this gentleman. I want you guys to understand the characteristic of these people, so that way nobody out there can make fool out of you, thinking that they're telling you the right thing, and you actually don't know what the right things is or the right things are. When they're on the platform, is where you will come to get the true story about people out there who try to denigrate the government because they did not get something for themselves. So who can tell me the name of the gentleman here? Somebody please write the name of the gentleman for me. Somebody please write the name. Do you recognize that gentleman? If you recognize that gentleman, please write his name down. I'm looking at all the comments here. So if you recognize this gentleman, please feel free to write his name down, so that way we can all be aligned in what we're about to say. Does anyone know who the gentleman is? Now, don't bring your emotion in here and say, oh, the man been cursing the president. No, we are all intellectuals here. We can handle things, and we can handle things professionally. So is there anybody out there that know the name of the gentleman? Please write it down. Write it down on the podcast here. We are about to go into so many things that you never heard about, but I want to get few things out of the way. So, does anyone know this man's name? Anybody know this man's name? Please make sure. Christopher Kamara, how you doing? Josh Lomagel, how you doing? Let me see. Achitape, thank you very much. Orlando, how you doing? Monju, my man. Pam Butter is in the house today. Washington Jimison is also here. Nina Quia is here. And then my man D Black. D Black is also in the house here. And then I see my nephew, Ambassador Nelson Moneyba is also here too. I see all my men in here. And let me just say hi to my Facebook people down there. So yes, somebody said George Solo. Thank you very much, Vivian. Thank you very much. Vivian said his name is George Solo. All right. So what do we know about George Solo? Many times you are seeing video of George Solo on the platform here. I met George Solo in 2012. I don't want to show the picture here right now because I don't want to waste too much time, but I just want to give you guys a brief history. George Solo was a very good guy at that time, and I knew him. I got to know him when I first made my visit to the CDC, to one of the CDC conventions. Yes, one of the CDC convention where I met Joselo. All right, Joselo and myself have a very good conversation. But after the election of 2011, something happened when Ambassador Weah was out of the country. And we discussed this thing on Radio LIB into Liberia through Fabric FM, through I call it Freedom FM. George Solo, you see right here, did something very bad. He did something very, very bad. Now, I'm going to put the empathy conversation in your shoe. So imagine many of you guys, my sister Vivian out there, many of you guys watching me right now. You look at a gentleman in Liberia or a lady in Liberia and say, hey, I want to build for you a house. I want to build my house, but I cannot be on the ground to see the house being built. But I trust you. And then you take all your money, send it to the person, and the person is showing you, oh yeah, thing working well, thing doing this, thing doing this. And then finally you decide to make a land touch in the country to check your house out. And then unfortunately, the house that the person been promising you, the house, the land, is in the process of being sold to somebody else. How will you feel? How will you feel? You see, the existence of CDC today, it was never going to be possible if what George Solo were planning to do, if it were going to come to fruition, there was never going to be CDC. There were never going to be George Weah government. There were never going to be CDC. George Solo, when Mr. Weah traveled out of the country, George Solo decided to sell the party to Benina Ure. That is the whole bottom line. Don't listen to Spoon bringing George Solo on and George Solo not telling you the truth. Mamadi Diateke interviewed George Solo group, and I will give you guys some context of what was happening. Mr. Weah was out of the country. George Solo, you see here, he got a child by TDI Ure. I don't know whether you guys know that or not. George Solo, you see right here. Let me just make George Solo bigger for you guys. George Solo, you see right here, he has a child by TDI Ure. That played a significant role in how and why George Solo wanted to sell CDC to Benina Ure, because George Solo had a child by TDI Ure. How many of you guys know about that, folks? How many of you guys know about that? How many of you guys know about that, folks? Be honest here and tell me. How many of you guys know about that? So George Solo decided to sell the party to Benina Ure after Mr. Weah lost in 2011. He decided to sell the party. It brought about skirmishes, those who supported George Weah at that time, the CDC party, and those who supported George Solo, they got into a fight. One of the gentlemen was beaten so bad that he had a very black eye. And that gentleman was interviewed on the Prime FM that is still existing today. You got Kevin Demi over there. But they were like all sidekick to Mamadi Diateke. So when Mr. Weah came back from abroad and asked George Solo, why did you do what you are doing? George Solo said the party was going to be better off with Benina Ure. And Weah said no. It was wrong. I am the sole leader of the party so far. If there any reason we wanted to give the party to Benina Ure, why you couldn't wait for me? Instead, you decided to do it behind my back. Kind of remind you about the story of Satan and God, right? They said Lucifer was the choir director in heaven, and the moment God took a break, Satan decided to take over, and that how can God cast him down from heaven. That's exactly what happened to George Solo. Don't take my word for it. Share the video with George Solo. I encourage you to share the video with George Solo right now. Let me just bring myself here. I encourage you to share the video with George Solo right now. You see, many of you guys were not in the days that these things were unfolding. And it's very unfortunate that most of the information that was shared are not being discussed today. But we are here to tell you guys. And for me, I'm going to tell you, take the video to Josh Solo and tell you, Josh Solo, look, listen to this guy. And let Josh Solo say something else. Then we'll come again with more detail of those things here. But one question you're asking, do you have a child by TDI Uri? Ask Josh Solo that question. Ask Josh Solo that question. That one thing he will not deny. That's one thing he will not deny. He's a very smart guy. I won't lie to you. He's a very smart guy. He came here and went to school. But the fight about what he did need to be put out there so that you guys can get to know who he is. All right? So I just want to bring that to your attention. So let me progress here. Now, as we go towards the election, this is the 1st of October. We are the 10th. Tomorrow the countdown will be to 9. And then we start to go to 0, which will be the day. All right? That on the 10th. So, what I want Liberian to understand, I don't know how many of you guys are aware of this thing or not, but there is a gentleman that I think many Liberians do not know, and I blame the CDC government. Yes, I blame the CDC government for what is happening right now. I blame them. This guy here, all right, this guy right here, Liberians in America, some of them are not too familiar with this guy case. It's no fault of their ignorance. On the other hand, there are other Liberians who are familiar with the guy case and know that the guy is a criminal. Yes, this guy right here, he is a criminal. I cannot trust him with my dog. I cannot trust him with my cat. I cannot trust the guy with anything. He has brought shame to you out there. He has shown to the Liberian people, the American people, and to the world that you as a Liberian cannot compete. That is what the guy has done. When you look on his page, do you see his name there? Go back and look on his page. Go back and look on his page. The page here, we just did a screenshot of this page. Go there and see whether you will find his name on there. Go there and see whether you will find his name. Go there and see whether you will find his name. This guy right here. Go on the page right now and see whether you will find his name. I don't know how many Liberians in this country don't understand that the guy is a criminal. And they continue to support this guy. This guy cannot leave from his own house without being monitored. He's a criminal. This guy is a criminal. And we try to educate the Liberian people. One thing all the CDC talk show need to do this week till election time is to tell the Liberian people that this guy right here, he's a criminal. He cannot even go to that U.S. embassy in Liberia without people looking at him very funny. He can. That's why everything he does, he hides his name. The only place he found pleasure right now is by being on Facebook from the basement of his house. That's the only time the guy found pleasure. You will never find a guy outside in the street taking picture. I challenge him, share the video with him. He will never be discovered outside trying to take picture out there. He is a criminal. He is property of the United States government right now, who is waiting for a day in court to determine whether he will go to jail. But almost everything he got, it will be taken away from him. And you find Liberian people around this guy. Let's go into a few details here, folks. All right? This guy right here. You know the guy, right? Now, let's come here. What do you know about this guy? He's a federal criminal. That's who the guy is. He is nothing but a federal criminal. And you got Liberians masquerading around here trying to support a criminal. That is painting our country very bad. So I'm calling on the CDC media talk show host Miller in Liberia. You need to let our people know that Joseph Boyka got in his company people who are criminal in this country. Those are the people, I mean, he is one of the people that Joseph Boyka is trying to bring into the circle. This guy is a criminal. This guy is a criminal. Why will you be keeping criminal on our radio station in our country? You seen it for yourself there, folks. Federal prosecutors have charged 27 school operators and recruiters, including Stanton Witherspoon. This guy is a criminal. And that's the man people listen to, and Liberian people don't want to make the people to understand. Let's go deeper here again. This guy, all right, and starting from today, we will be posting the thing right here. Federal prosecutor saying he did not put his name here. We will put the name there for people to know because he tried. You see here, this is the original page here. He doesn't want to identify himself. So what we have done here is we will come here and we will post it to the Liberian people to see that this guy has done something very terrible in this country here. He is nothing but a criminal. That's who he is. You are looking at a criminal. What did he do? Selling false credentials. Let's go to some information here so you can get to bring yourself up to speed.
You know, I've confirmed tonight that Delaware actually annulled the licenses of 26 nurses already. And the feds tonight, they're charging people across the country, including 2 in South Jersey.
All of us feel this is egregious.
Strong words from the executive director of Delaware's Board of Nursing after learning of a massive scheme out of Florida to sell fake nursing degrees. And tonight, we've confirmed 26 nurses in Delaware had their licenses annulled in connection to the fake degrees.
These people who went to these Florida schools did not complete the curriculum, the education, and the clinical training that is required of all nurses to be eligible to sit to take their licensure exam and to be licensed.
Yeah, what the white people saying about the man in America here? Have you guys listened to what the white people saying about this man in America? And that's the man you got passing around here acting like he is so clean. The guy is a criminal. He's a criminal. There's no if and but about this guy. He's a criminal. Nobody can trust the guy with money. Nobody can do business with the guy. And that's the man, the CDC people in the town there. And even the ANC people. You allow this guy to just be running over the platform like that. And none of you want to say anything about it. You are dealing with a criminal. Why do you think the guy cannot be on any show out here? Why the guy can't go in the street to broadcast? When like you ever saw this man? Somewhere sitting down to broadcast. You will find Henry Costa once in a while in your car broadcasting. Every one of you got to be in your car broadcasting. He cannot do those things. The guy is a criminal and you got the guy passing around here. You're listening to AMO. You're listening to AMO, folks. And this thing had nothing to do with Joshua. It had to do with our reputation in this country here. How can a criminal go on radio and telling people that they're making sense? Some Liberians in the town don't even know that the guy is a criminal. That man cannot go apply for any job where they will look at his background and say, let's see your background. He cannot work in the nursing field anymore. Nobody trusts him. He cannot participate in any exam right now because nobody will trust him. That's the man that people running behind today. Y'all listen more here.
Licensed as a nurse.
She says there are no reports of patients being harmed, but tonight 25 people across the country face charges for their involvement in the scheme that brought in more than $100 million, including Stanton Witherspoon and Alfred Sellew of Burlington County, New Jersey. He's home.
Yeah, go to Stanton Witherspoon man home there. They stole the money he took, the illegal money he took. An American journalist standing right before his driveway. He's not brave enough to come outside. But the men that will come and sit down on platform and be talking about, oh, Liberian this, Liberian that. Yeah, go the man over there. Yeah, go the man over there, folks. Listen to what the man say here again.
Okay. Can we talk to him? We tracked down Witherspoon at his home in Burlington today, but family members said he couldn't talk. Over the phone, He told me he had to check in with his lawyer.
A man that cannot stand before a journalist to tell the journalist what's going on. That is the man that Liberian people trying to follow around here. Look, I'm calling on all CDC talk show hosts, both in the diaspora and in Liberia. You need to play this audio, this video into Liberia. This guy is a criminal. He is a criminal. We don't, not only do we have video, let's go to some facts here, folks. How dare Liberian people just playing with a kind of guy like this? This guy's a criminal. This man not supposed to be on any platform talking about anything in Liberia. Let's go to some facts here, folks. Let's go to some facts here. Let me tell you guys here. Let's go to some facts here. Let me share my screen here with you guys here so you can see something here. All right? Let me share my screen with you guys here. Let's start with your own county for Bradenton. Let's go to Bradenton County. All right? Let's go to Bradenton County. Let me come back here and just reduce myself on my screen here so you can see here. All right? Let me just take myself off the screen here. Let's go to Bradenton County here. All right? Let's go to Bradenton County here. All right? So we are in Bradenton County right here. All right? This is the county men live. The men live in Bradenton. It's like the men living in Riverside, Maserado, the county newspaper. They got the guy here. All right? They got this man here. That's why you don't see him in the street. That's why you don't see him. The thing is online. All right? January 27, 2023. All right? This guy they call Jim Wash. Jim Wash, the one that wrote the story here. Two Bradenton Township men accused of taking part in a scheme to sell foreign diploma. And who are those men? Stanton Witherspoon right here. Right here. Right here. Stanton Witherspoon. The guy is a criminal. This guy is a criminal, and you're sitting in Liberia over there and allowing this guy to be on the radio talking about people? Are you kidding me, Liberians? This guy's a criminal. And you're sitting down over there? Let's go to more detail here. Let's not forget about the issue of the local newspaper. Let's go to the big one. Let's go to the big one here. You need to share the video, folks. You need to share the video. Let's come to another one right here. Lawyers then in the country here know about this guy. You see the weapons here, right here? You see here? Nico Charlson, Estin LLP, attorney at law. Look at their case law. You see their case law here? They got the guy right here. He's right here. U.S. government versus Stanton Witherspoon and others. This guy is a criminal all around in America here. He got no good record here. And you're sitting down over there and trying to listen to this guy, Liberians? That's the man you're listening to? Wow. Liberians, man. That's the guy you're sitting down and listening to here. This man is nobody in America. He's nobody here. Let's go to another one here again, the big one. And that's what I will call the most up-to-date one. The most up-to-date one. Why just one right here? I'm sure you guys can see this, right? It's coming out on your screen. The United States Attorney General office. The man had gone to the court and he had pled guilty. September 28th, Thursday, they just released the information. Last week, Thursday, they released the man information. You see it right here? Just last week, they updated their database now. And what within the contents of that message? Let's come down here. All right? There go the main case. Stanton Witherspoon of New Jersey, of Bradenton County, New Jersey. What he did? He had pled guilty. He pled guilty on August the 24th, 2023 to conspiracy to commit wire fraud. That is the guy case number right here. He is scheduled to what? To appear for him to be sentenced on the 2nd of November. On the 2nd of November, that is the update that just came out. That is the update that came out last week. And we now in October, the first today. When was the 28th? Thursday. This is fresh and new. And you guys are sitting over there and allowing this criminal to be masquerading on our country, into our country politics. Into our country politics. These are all the people that participated. They all will be in our court one by one. One by one. They all will be sentenced one by one. One by one. Look at the case here. This is a fresh case that just came out. Get right here, folks. We are going to print this thing here, and we are going to print this thing here. Let me come print it all right now, and we'll do a very good screenshot of it right now. Let me come print it all right now. We'll post the thing with the man picture side, because this is a public record. We'll print it out, we'll put the man picture right here, right here, right here. We'll put the man picture right there, right there. We'll put the man picture right over there. So let me go and print it all here. The guy's a criminal, you're passing around, you're supporting the man. What's wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people? We will print the thing here right now. We'll print it right now. All right? You're still with me right there. We'll print it out. We'll print it out. We will print it out. The guy is a criminal. And you're passing around one thing and the man is something better here. The guy is a criminal. Let me just copy the thing here right now. You will see how come I can't do it here. The guy is a criminal. You're supporting the guy. How dare some of you guys just go support criminal like that? What is wrong with Liberian people, my fellow Liberians? What's wrong with you guys? Last week, the man, whole story king, they already finished telling the man that his sentencing will be on November the 2nd. And he passed it over there and he not telling you nothing. I will tell you today. I will tell the Liberian people today. You guys are messing with a criminal. That's who he is. A criminal. You guys are messing with a criminal. You guys are messing with a criminal. That's the man that is into Liberian politics today. Let me just leave that thing up there for you guys to read it. Take a good look at it so you can read it. All right? You take a good look at it and read it. That's the man you're dealing with over there. The guy is a criminal. All right? Let's go back there so you can take a good look. I want you guys to read it. Take a screenshot of it if you want to. Take a screenshot. Good. I think people sharing the thing here right now. You take a screenshot of it. Let's bring it down here. There go the man right here. There go the man whole information right here. There go the man whole information right here. Right there. You take a good look at it. The man is going to court to be sentenced. The man is a criminal. How dare you guys go sit on a show and listen to a criminal? Only in Liberia you can find those things. I mean, only among Liberians. And not every one of us. How dare? How dare you guys, man? Come on, man. You guys are better than this, man. You guys are better than this. You share that video over there, man. That's really getting to me here. Every day you guys work hard in this country here. You hustle. You do everything here in your wee ways. And then you just get somebody out there. You got somebody out there that just cheating the system. And then he say he's talking politics in Liberia. What's wrong with you people, man? You take a good look at it. I want you to take a look at it. You take a look at it. Last week, Thursday. I hope my sister Vivian is paying attention to that. I hope my man D Black, you're paying attention to that. Yo, come on, man. You guys work very hard in the country here. You got a criminal over there acting that he's all good. The guy's a criminal. This man is a criminal. How dare the man will be participating into Liberian politics like that? You take your own time and look at that thing. You take your time and look at it. Share it. You share it. Man's a criminal. Man is a criminal. Let me print out all the thing here right now. Man is a damn criminal. I tell the man, the man is a criminal, and you're sitting out over there and doing nothing about it, and you're just sitting out over there, allowing this man to be passing around in the town over there. All right? You cannot allow a criminal to be passing around. That's wrong. This is so wrong. Y'all wake up. Y'all need to wake up and share the thing. Y'all please try to share it, folks. Y'all try to share it. Y'all try to share it. This guy got indicted. He lied. Just September the 28th, the information came out. September 28th, the information came out that the criminal, the guy is a criminal. He doesn't deserve to be saying anything about Liberian people politics. He doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve to be in anything in our country, folks. How dare can a criminal like that be participating into our ballot politics? All right? How can a criminal like that? What's wrong with the Liberian people? The ANC people call themselves the civilized people then. And they're sitting out over there and allow the guy here to come and be passing around the country there. And Liberian in the town, they just think that this guy is somebody better. You guys are looking at a criminal, folks. You guys are looking at a criminal. Let's get back to our regular broadcast here. Let me start the share here. I think you guys have seen enough now. You guys have seen enough of it. The guy is a criminal. And you're sitting out there allowing the man to be, you're sitting out there and allowing the man to be passing around here. You're sitting down there. You're sitting out over there. Everyone that's supporting that man, they are criminal. They are criminal. Everyone that's supporting that man, they are criminal. Look at the other one that they say on Facebook, they're cursing me here. You that cursing me on Facebook, you are a criminal too. Criminal will always support criminal. The man is in the federal database system as a criminal. And then you want to come here to come support a criminal? Wow. That's the kind of people that say they won't be in the country in power over there like that. When you got a bunch of criminal, this guy is a criminal. Let's listen to what he don't have in this country again. Let's listen to these guys right here. Listen to this guy here.
Think about it.
And when they got into this agreement, because
Let's listen to
you
it.
can never own firearms.
You can never own a firearm.
Listen
Your
to
Honor.
it.
Stand
The
up with a
criminal.
spoon. Yes, Your Honor. So there is no parole. There's no parole in there. Somebody was on the show last night, a drunk driver who went to jail for 2 years was on the show last night talking about he gonna be giving parole and this and that and probation. It is not within the federal system. Let's move on.
And at this point, the judge looked at both of them and said, at this point, with this plea, you have lost your right to withdraw.
You have lost your right
To withdraw.
to withdraw this guilty plea
That's correct.
that you've today entered into. You lost your right. You cannot withdraw the guilty plea. You cannot have a jury trial. No. You've given up those rights. Also, the judge admonished them that with this plea today, you gave up all of your constitutional rights.
Guys are damn
Which
criminal.
include-
Criminal.
You will no longer be allowed to vote in this country.
You will no longer be allowed to vote.
Yes.
You will never.
He will no longer be allowed to vote in the country here. The country that represents true democracy. And he will never be allowed to vote in the country. The guy is a criminal. That's who he is. He's a criminal.
Be allowed to hold public office.
You can never hold public office.
You can never own firearms.
You can never own a
He
firearm.
can never get into any public service because they don't trust him. He's a criminal. They will never trust him. That's the man some Liberian behind today passing around here. That's the man. But we're waiting for November the 2nd. They will update that thing again. And you see the list of every one of them. They will be going there to get a hearing. Let me see. Y'all be going to that place wherever they will put him. Y'all go there and be visiting him there, so they can look at every one of you and consider every one of you to be good for nothing people. Everyone that comes to the country here, they try to represent the image of their country and build for themselves a character. You got a criminal, a man who decided to take shortcut, and then people want to come and can't justify him. You can cost me all you want on YouTube. That man is a criminal. He's a criminal. He's a thief. He's one of the foolish men I ever seen in my lifetime. Came to this country and can even barely compete with anybody. Let's listen to these guys here.
And you would never sit on jury duty.
You would never sit on jury duty. And those are constitutional rights. But there are other rights that they're going to also forfeit. Yeah. And the judge asked them, do you understand that?
That you are waiving all constitutional
rights. And they both answer, yes, Your Honor. So now, here is a man who waived his rights to vote.
The criminal.
In the United States of America. And he's delving and melting into the Liberian body politics.
Yes. A criminal like that.
Think about it.
Criminal like that.
And when they got into this agreement, because he didn't have the academic acumen,
he got no academic credential, nothing.
A nursing program, a nursing school that will offer that kind of qualification.
Right.
He went and co-signed with his lady. Not only that, but then he became
very
his own recruiter.
Right. The guy is very, very dull. He doesn't even have the credential. Very, very dull. Don't have the credential. He does not have the credential. That's how dull he is. That's how dull he is. Doesn't have the credentials. We share the thing here right now into the different Facebook group here, folks. You're bear with me here right now. We share the thing here. Let Liberian people get to know. It's a show. When the man show on, somebody go post the thing right there. Somebody go post it right there. If the man show on, because he finished blocking me from that show. He called, he said, man, who talking about justice? Let me just do something. You forgive me, folks. Let me just find something. I'll go in on the page there and see what's going on. I'm going to post it right now. If you get any show on, you're going to post it on right now. Let somebody just inbox me the man show. If that man get any show right now, send me that show right now. Let me post it in right there. If he running that show, if he running any show right now, send it to me right now. You send it to me right now. Let me post it in there. If he running any show right now, you send it to me. Let me go post it in there. The guy is a criminal. The man is a criminal. How you can get a criminal passing around over there and nobody seeing anything about the man over there? How Liberian people think? The thing that we stupid people around here, the guy's a criminal. The guy's a criminal. You can be passing around with a criminal around here? What kind of nonsense thing is that? You need to spread this thing here. We'll put it in there again. Yes. Man, it's a criminal. We already got it in there already. It's loading up right now. Let the Liberian people get to see. Let the Liberian people get to see. The man is a criminal. You cannot have a criminal masquerading around here acting that he's somebody who is so clean. No, he's not clean. The man's a criminal. You just hold on there, folks. Let me do one or two things here. We cannot sit around to allow a criminal. Let the people get to know who they're dealing with. The information is fresh. It just came out. So you need to pass it on. And we will do that here. We will not allow no criminal to come melt into our body politics here. The man brought shame to us. He brought shame to his family. Brought shame to every one of us. Shame that he cannot compete to do anything. What kind of nonsense thing is down there so? Everybody in the town trying to make life better for themselves. You got somebody that just decided to cheat the system here. Then he passing around acting like he's somebody fair. Who is he to come melt into our body politics? When everybody in our country trying their best to do what it takes to be best. And he talking about fairness. A man who don't want to play it fair with the people educational system here. That's the man that talking about election will be fair. I mean, Liberian people, y'all come on, man. Y'all try to live it up here small, man. The man in America, he not been playing the fair. Other people studying overnight to pass a test. And then the crow get passing around trying to cheat people. And he already confessed to the freaking crime he had committed already. That's what he has done. That's what he has done. That's what he has done. All right? So how can you guys trust somebody like that? How can you guys trust somebody like that by talking about being fair when you're not seeing anything fair? The man is a crook. How can you guys how can you guys trust somebody like that? Okay? You shouldn't be doing that kind of thing there, folks. You got name on yourself, man. You got to represent your country, man. And you got people sitting down on the man platform over there and trying to justify things when the man is hiding his dirty record in this country here. He's a criminal, folks. For Jesus Christ's sake, the guy is a criminal. That's who he is. That's who he is. We will spread everything. The man is a criminal. He's going to court. If you can read, please read it. If you can share it, please share it. How dare he participate into Liberian politics when the guy is a criminal? How dare he participate in Liberian politics when he's a criminal? Which country that kind of thing happen? It cannot happen in Ghana. It cannot happen in Ghana. It cannot happen in Nigeria. All right? It cannot happen in Ghana. It cannot happen in Nigeria. It cannot happen in South Africa. Only among Liberians who are so angry at this man they call George Weah, only they are the one that finding pleasure in this thing they here. But we on the platform will let the Liberian people know. We will let the Liberian people know that we will not tolerate and will not allow criminals like that to go unnoticed. We will make sure that we spread every information. Every information, we'll make sure we spread it. So you need to get out there and begin to spread this news here to the people out there. Spread the news. Spread the news. It's not in the federal database that they may have confessed to everything that Stanton, Gilman and his other friend, Michael Gilman and Michael and my brother Jerome Gilman said. Everything is here. Everything is here. The guy is a criminal. The guy is a criminal. The guy is a criminal. You can get all versions you want, my friend. You can insult me on Facebook. The guy is a criminal. He's a criminal, my man. He's a criminal. All right? He is a criminal. He is a criminal, my friend. The man is a criminal. You see that one here say he calls him here? I will find a page and I'm going to post it on his page. Because he part of that criminal sin again too. He part of it. He part of it. Anyone that come here to support a criminal here, you are a criminal. That's who you are. You are a criminal. You are a criminal. And we'll make sure that we expose every one of you guys. You guys are a bunch of criminals. Bunch of criminals. Let's bring the man back here again. This is what the man came to do in America here. Nothing he worked for damn. Nothing he worked for. Nothing he worked for. All he worked, he hold left for that associate degree. What the hell wrong with Martin Cuddy? Why Martin Cuddy can bring his ass here to come talk about the fraudster here? And he always talk about people getting fraudster. Martin Cuddy is just another good for nothing individual. And you know, good for nothing individual that got no standard, no moral. You got a criminal here. The man already been indicted. This thing happened to one citizen. Oh, it will be all over the place today. But because they got support Joe Bucker and Martin Cuddy, he support Joe Bucker, so he don't find no reason to come out here and bring the criminal here. The criminal. Look at him. Look at him right there. That's all he did. He killed the time. That's all you are doing here. Then he want to participate into Liberian politics. Look, every one of you guys you see here, they are all supporting the guy criminal behavior. I don't know why you guys sit with these guys them and listen to them. But I got it. Majority of the guys them, they are all people who when they fail in this country, they will quickly run to go to Liberia and go and see political position. That's who the guys are. If you ask me, that's who they are. That's who they are. When they have failed finally and they decided to go to Liberia. That is why they decided to support this criminal. All right? Because nobody of moral tenure, nobody of moral value will sit with a guy here. The man that can barely put his name on any of the show he appears on. That's who the guy is. The guy is a criminal. Yeah, the man record right here. Yeah, is the man whole record here. take a good look at it. Take a look at it. Take a look at it. When you look the man up online, that is what you will see of him, folks. That is what you will see of him. The guy is a criminal. And people passing around here and want to vilify him. What can he do in the country over there? The man in America here is so sophisticated country that he cannot even compete. And he want to cheat the system. And he got busted. And he's going to jail. And that's the man people passing around want to be hating around here. A man who don't believe in competition. A cheater. A cheater. That's the man people want to come listen to here. Let's listen to what the federal prosecutor said about them. Let's listen here. Let the federal prosecutor come and update you guys on what he did. Let's listen to them here. They're coming up very soon. How dare you guys be dealing with a criminal passing around here? All right? Let's listen to the federal prosecutor right now. Listen to this. Now your hero then down there, that is Shane they brought to Liberia here. Yelly many certificate over there.
They claim they are. Specifically, when we talk about a nurse's education and credentials, shortcut is not a word we want to use.
Yeah, every one of them
And
are
we take an
every one of them are behind Stanton, they cannot go straight. They are shortcut people. That's why they're supporting them. But they are not a representation of the Liberian people here. They in America here, they're supporting him. They are all shortcut takers. But there are people who will take the red cut. So I just want to make sure that people understand. You guys understand that.
Injured son or daughter to a hospital emergency room, we don't expect, really cannot imagine, that the licensed practical nurse or registered nurse treating our child took a shortcut around educational and licensing requirements. When we entrust the life of an elderly parent to the staff of an assisted living or skilled nurse facility, the last thing we want to learn is that the nurses administering the medications, the ones charged with carrying out doctor's order, took shortcuts on their clinical training and used fake nursing diplomas to get their licenses and jobs. Unfortunately, thousands of people have taken these shortcuts. The prosecutor and agents here today have worked tirelessly.
The people had done well. They had done extremely well, and let us thank them very much because they have shown and they have proven that Stanton Witherspoon is a very, very crooked guy who don't belong in the society here, and he will go to see the judge for the judge to determine when he will be sentenced. And I hope that sentence, if they can give him 20 years, I would be so very happy. Yes, because what he did, he deserved that year. All right? Yes, what he did, he deserved that year. This is a man who will come to you and want to tell you about Liberian politics. How dare he want to tell you about Liberian politics when he's cheating on the side here? Be honest with yourself here. Today's Sunday, right? You went to church today. What part of the Bible told you that shortcut is part of it? What part of the Bible told you that? Let's be honest here. Like George Weah, I don't like George Weah. But how can you support a guy who in a country that protects you, that gives you the opportunity to work, and you're working here honestly, and you got a guy who want to take shortcut, and you want to support that man? We will not accept any criminal to go free on this platform here. So with that being said, let's try to get into our politics here, all right? Anyway, if you need that information, it's already on my page. Yes, it's on my page. Go on my page. You will find it there. Yes, go on my page. You will find the whole Stanton Witherspoon stuff is on there. We already posted it on there, so you can go and read it for yourself and share it, all right? Like I said, he online. Tomorrow he coming on, we'll post that thing on his platform, and you should post it there. I show you a black some of you guys, but you gotta make that sacrifice. You gotta make that sacrifice. You should not allow a criminal to walk free in our country there. You gotta let the Liberian people know. All right? The people he trying to put him up on, the people got no issue with the federal government of the United States or anywhere else. He is the only person who got a nonsense thing around him and he want to behave that he's somebody straight. The guy's a criminal. He is a criminal. All right? So let me progress here, folks. Let me progress here. So we are now coming to at least deep dive into our original presentation here today. All right? So let us come now to Joseph Walker. Yes, let's get to Joe Walker here. All right? Let's get to Joe Walker that have criminal support. Let's come to Joe Walker that have criminal support. All right? This guy you see they call Joe Walker here, it's no surprise that he's supporting Mr. Stanton Witherspoon or Crook, because Joe Walker once upon a time lied to a Fuda businessman and sold a very sick billy goat to that Fuda businessman. So that includes Joe Walker to be part of the crooked gang activities of Liberians across the world. So don't see Joe Walker today. He is a very crooked old man that cannot and should not be trusted with anything in life. Aside from his incompetence, Joe Walker is not fit to be anything in our country. Let's go down the home here, all right? Now, Joe Walker, aside from him being a crook, you know what Joe Walker did? Let's come to the video here, all right? Joe Walker is a man who decided to chase after other people, marry women. So we are looking at Joe Walker nasty character here. That's what we're looking at here. We are looking at Joe Walker nasty character here, all right? This old man, not seeing him all like this. It's a very nasty old man who do not have respect for himself, but want to go after other people, women. That's who Joe Walker is. He is not competent. He is a dirty old man who run after people, women. I'm not the one that's saying it. I mean, I'm not the one that coming up with it. I'm only saying it because what you're about to listen to, it came from that very lady there. So let's listen to it right here. Let's get the tape rolling here.
But then when the processing plant came, when Gaddafi passed, vice president, had oversight of agriculture. Okay, he kept the processing plant.
Vice president.
He kept this guy down. The guy you see across the table there with the mic in the back of, on the top of his head on the wall. This guy is a very fine guy with a very good vision for agriculture. Because Joe Walker did not like this guy, he was jealous of him. He decided to circumvent this guy opportunity. Not only did he circumvented the guy opportunity, he decided to follow after the man web as well. That's who Joe Walker is. Let's listen to this.
Ambassador Joseph Walker.
Joseph Walker. He kept the processing plant, at the port for 3 years, 10 days. But in the concession agreement, anything that we imported that has to do with the project, that's no tax, is tax exempted. Okay? But he kept the processing plant at the port for 3 years, 10 days. When I go to Elian, he said, man, go to Joe. I gave him oversight of agriculture because of your investment. And then when I go to him, he said, the Congo people tie his hands. I'm wearing a Macintosh. When you tell me that, it's offensive. Okay, and I know very well that it was.
And you consider that as offensive?
Yes, it's offensive because we're all Liberians. Okay, but don't give me those kind of poor excuses when Ellen gave you had oversight of agriculture. But then all of a sudden, after 3 years, 10 days, something terrible happened.
What was that?
You want me to divulge that?
Go ahead.
Okay. He crossed the line, social line.
He crossed the line. Folks, listen to what the man saying. After he suffocated the man opportunity from getting what the man deserved. When the guy tells you he crossed the social line, listen to what he means by crossing a social line. This man they call Joe Walker. Let's bring the picture up here. He decided to go after the guy's wife. Right here. That's what Joe Walker did. He decided to go after the man's wife. Joe Walker is not only a crook who lied to a Fuda businessman. But guess what? He's a guy who go around and try to fornicate, commit adultery. That's what he's trying to do. This old man, don't see him like this. Forget about his age. Forget about the old man's age. That is why today you will see that Mo Ali is in his camp. even though Mo Ali has done some things, that's why Joe Parker never spoke about it. Robert Parler took out his pants and showed his private part on Facebook. Anthony Weiner, Hillary Clinton's special assistant, was married to a representative from New York, and his name is Anthony Weiner. On his page, he exposed himself just by taking off his shirt. Taking off his shirt. They asked him to resign. Garland, Robert Parler, that people saw his private part. Mo Ali, they are all still in the camp of Joe Parker. And then you got a criminal, an indictee in America. He's still in Joe Parker camp. Now listen to the reason why Joe Parker support these people. Listen.
With my family.
Who, he?
Yes. And all of a sudden, the same Congo people, all of a sudden, overnight, they're losing their grip on him. And he signed the document. We released the container, but then we accumulated $650,000, in storage. So, well, to cut, fast forward, this project could have been continued, okay, should the processing plant be released then.
You just told, before you proceed, sir, you just told us that he crossed the social line. What could be that social line that he crossed?
Well, I will leave that, for my wife to talk about so that PC people can hear.
Okay, good. Then we'll go straight to you. Yawa, welcome again.
Listen to the lady. Listen to the lady. Listen to the lady. Many Liberians, they profess to be Christian. And if you are guided by the Christian principle, thou shalt not fornicate, thou shalt not commit adultery. Many of them went to church today. But there's nobody. Do you think Stanton Witherspoon will come and talk about that? No, he's a criminal. Do you think Mo Ali will come and talk about that? No, because he's the same thing. Do you think Robert Parler will talk about that? No. Do you think the entire Unity Party will talk about that? When their leader is also in the business of running after other people's women, do you see any moral value in the Unity Party as such? No. Let's listen to the lady here, folks. Listen to her.
We want you to...
Shut up. Okay.
So, this question has been directed to you. Could you just tell us exactly the social line that the Omer crossed by then?
I want to say thank God, first of all, for the opportunity given to us.
There you go.
The social line he crossed, I think I will quote the president word. We respect elders. As men, if my husband say he crossed the line,
nobody must respect Joe Parker. Nobody. He does not deserve no damn respect. He does not respect himself. All right? Let me progress here.
I want the people to guess what crossing the line with a lady meant.
Okay. Be blunt.
Especially the social line.
The social line.
What it means social line is like each and every one of us here have our lovers, our husband, our wife. When someone crosses the social line with your family, it's a question thrown to you. You should think about it. It's very
to be blunt, he
sexually harassed my wife.
Yeah. Does that mean he loved?
That's a crime right there. That is a crime. That is a crime. That is a crime. What he did to that woman, that is a crime. But how many people are going to talk about that right now? Not many people are going to talk about that. Because the people around him, the men who are already been federally indicted, he's sitting on that platform, he's not saying anything because he didn't say he's a criminal. So why you think he's going to talk about that? You think he's going to talk about that? No, he's not going to talk about those things. He's not going to talk about those things. You think Stand Up With Us going to talk about those things? No. Stand Up With Us not going to talk about those things. All right? Let me
to you. He sexually harassed my wife.
Ambassador Boakai.
Yes.
Wow.
And I have proof. I'm not anything I'm saying here.
We go back to Mommy Yawa. Were you harassed sexually by Ambassador Waka? Is that what your husband saying?
Yes.
Tell us the story. How did it happen?
How did it happen? My husband went to Abuja seeking funds to continue the project, and the projects were approved, and they're supposed to give him
$19.1 million.
$19.1 million to bring this project, for the project to continue in Weah. That was a good news for Lofa County. But here our matron that's supposed to stand by us called me at his house pretending that he wanted to give me food. Look at me. Can't I feed myself?
Joseph Walker.
Yes. When I brought agriculture, the kind of mechanizing agriculture that Liberia have never seen. You're not talking about only Lofa County. They just lash. And then he called me. I told my husband, I don't want to go. And he's like, oh, Vicky, you're so stubborn. I said, I'm not stubborn because I think that man is looking for something else. He said, oh, just go. I don't think my father...
And folks, they are talking about Joseph Walker here, folks, just so you don't know. The man who say he wants to be president. That's how dirty he is. You look at that woman and her husband, they are legally married. Liberia is a Christian nation. Our tradition also call for respecting other people's relationship. As old as that man is, listen to the story that is being told of him. The man is not only a crook. Remember, this man was born to be a crook. He sold a seed goat to a food businessman. He got away with that. And it happened right in his own town of Weah or wherever he's from. Now you listen to a Kisi woman that come from the same belt, the same region. So after he sold the baby goat to the man falsely, guess what he's doing now? Listen to the woman's story. Listen to the woman's story. You see, we have to understand the character of these guys in Liberia in order to determine whether we're going to have a very better country. But from the big picture, as you can see, we are putting the puzzle together. Senator Witherspoon support Joe Walker. He's a criminal. He's going to jail. And he's going to lose everything. Mo Ali, this is a guy who is being heard loudly on the radio, forcing a girl to go and commit abortion. A process that could cost a life. So that means he doesn't believe in life. Then you got Robert Pare, a man who don't have no respect for himself. Take out his pants and show his penis out there. Why you think Joe Walker did not say anything about that? Well, the answer is coming up. Listen to Sister Yawa here. The answer is coming up. That's why Joe Walker has been silent on all these nasty and unethical things. Listen.
I would do that because at that time, my husband trusted Joseph Walker so much that he was so blind. But I, a woman have, if you tell us things, we will process it more than 10 times. That one word will process it to different things. So I having the feeling that he meant good. So when I went to him, he said, Yawa, I'm in love with you. I've been loving you. I will buy you iPhone. I said, iPhone? I have phones. I get iPhone to...
The old man is a very dirty old man. I tell you guys right now. That old man is a very, very dirty old man. Dirty old man. Nobody should trust that old man with anything. Look at the kind of nonsense thing he telling the woman over there. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to come to power to do. They ain't coming to power to can't teach anything in that country there, folks. That's what they got want to do. That's all they want to do. That's all Joseph Walker want to do. Come to power and be able to abuse people who don't have what they need. Calling somebody for cell phone. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine people in the country that are struggling? You see a beautiful woman out there, oh yeah, Mo Ali, go bring that woman. Yeah, go bring that woman. Then the president in the country over there. That's the kind of thing they're going to go do in the country over there. I mean, come on now. Let's be honest here. And y'all went to church today. For me, I don't go to church. Especially Liberian people church. Do you think what the woman experienced will make Joe Walker to be somebody better in that place? We're not talking about his experience. We are not talking about Joe Walker's experience. We are talking about Joe Walker's character. The man know that he kept eye on that woman and her family. By the time the man traveled, he got all the confirmation, oh yeah, the woman traveled. Can you imagine you left your wife at home, man? Come on, guys, let's be honest here. Can you imagine you left your woman home and you go out there and say, yes, I'm here. And then that man come and sneak in. This guy has done a lot of worst thing, man. And look, don't come here with your emotion. Don't look at Joe Walker old age. I want you to look at Joe Walker character. If I had ever come, or if I ever told the story without a woman coming out to tell the story here, you're not going to believe me. But I'm only providing our voice now over what she's saying right now, and you gotta listen to it. The Unity Party is not only an incompetent party, they got people in there who don't respect any women right, who don't respect religion, who don't respect marital affair. They got a lot of people in that party there, and you can see them. And that's what we are here to tell you. Joe Parker is nobody that is there to provide any sort of leadership. That's why when you see the thing that this guy had done, Joe Parker had not been speaking, because Joe Parker is part of that same dirty thing that the woman is explaining here. Let's listen.
People.
A wife to where was that? At his house?
At his house. His wife was in the house. Costa know about this.
There you go again. Costa is always in everything. He's always in everything. And there's always an alibi. Costa is always in everything. And some of the dishonesty about Costa too, he needs to come up and be speaking to this thing in here. He needs to come up and be speaking to these things. Because that will help to at least give our women an opportunity. How you can say you want to rescue the country, but you are already been taking advantage of other people, women over there, then you say you want to come rescue the country? Boca is not coming to come rescue anything. Boca is coming to come hijack things. That's what they're trying to do. He is coming to come hijack things. Can you imagine how he strangulated the woman husband and then turned around in the frustration of this man woman and her husband, then he calling the woman. So that means that the plan he had will frustrate the woman here. If she don't leave the man, I will find a way to come and join and try to make love to her. And the woman is saying that he wife in the house. So that means he doesn't even care for the woman too. Either his wife is part of the whole scheme, or he doesn't respect her, and she says she understands and she knows the line between the two of them. That's why it is. The old man is a dirty old man. Joe Parker is a very, very dirty old man. The old man you see here, it's a very dirty old man. All right? It's a very, very dirty old man. But let's listen to our sister here more, folks.
Senator Tengbe can attest to it.
Tengbe know about it. It's not a secret.
The former Speaker of the House.
Alexander.
Yes. Hey, man, this is a known secret, man. Maybe this is the first time that people.
Yes.
Now I see what Alexander want to go support this man. You see how you got it? They are all collectively engaged. Alexander now is supporting Joe Parker, right? Because he already know what the guy. Look, like Brembo, let me tell you one thing. If you need better life for yourself, you got to be very, very careful with these guys over there. All right? Because the names that are being called right now, these are people with nasty character, bad behavior. They are not coming to come change anything for you guys in our country, but to come and take advantage of the poor people in that place. All right? Early starter of all people, knowing the main character. So, like Brembo, don't even define people on their character. They don't define people on their character. They don't. Let me progress here.
This is a known secret. And the text messages that he used to send to my wife, I have all copies and I can share with you. Okay? And
I would love to have I would love to have that text messages. Yes. I hope that guy can share the text message this week. Anybody listen to me out there, let them share, let them encourage the guy to share those text messages. Because Joseph Parker need to be held accountable. All right? So let's leave it down there. And let's come to the Joe Parker man himself here. All right? Let's come to him here. Let's come to him right here. Shame on you, Joe Parker. Shame on you. All right? Shame on this man. This man is a very, very incompetent man. That's who he is. All right? So let's talk about Joe Parker here. We already know that he's a fake guy, a crook who sold a sick baby go to a food businessman and now try to love to a married man, woman. We already know that. But let's come back to his career, because for as far as a personal character go, he's a very nasty old man with a very bad behavior. We already know that. Thank God to the lady for being very brave to come out here and be able to express herself as well. Now, let's look at his political career. People often say that, oh, the old man got 45-year experience. Well, this is Joe Parker background here, folks. The man claimed to work for the Liberian government from 1973 all the way to 1985, as you can see here. And then he came back in 1992, and then he joined Ellen. This man cannot even defend what you are looking at right now, folks. Joe Parker cannot defend what you are looking at right now. When Joe Parker worked for Ellen, here at the position that Joe Parker, those here at the area of supervisory roles or responsibility, a better choice of words, that he was in charge of. As the 29th president of Liberia, He presided over plenary section, and you know what he did. They signed away all the opportunity that was supposed to be given to the Liberian people. He took those things away. He presided over the Liberia National Lottery. He presided over the Liberia Marketing Association. He presided over LIS. Where is my document here for LIS? He presided over LIS. He presided over LIS. I where Joe Parker when he presided over LIS. Let me put this thing on while you guys listen to the gentleman. Let me go get that list.
I signed a contract with ECOWAS, okay, for $19.1 million. I came back home, with all that, showed to him. And what he did, he went and wrote a letter to ECOWAS stipulating that, private sector window, that they should route the money through Ministry of Agriculture. Then Florence Chinoway was Minister of Agriculture. So ECOWAS said, hold on a second. We have a private sector window, and this investment is private sector initiative. But then, they called me and said, listen, if your government can be playing this kind of role, we are very skeptical if they have any support for this project. And I still have my contract. It has never been performed.
Let's go back small because this is very grave. Let's go back to Madam McIntosh.
Call me Yawa.
Yawa McIntosh. When he attempted this on you, did you blow an alarm?
I need proof. Because if I just blow a alarm in his home, you will not be believing the story I'm telling you. As I'm telling it now, in your mind, something is going on. Can I take this? But it's for real. So I told him on that day that please, I am on my period. So I cannot go further than this.
Yeah. You guys hear that? That how he constrained that woman like that. You guys hear that? That how he constrained that woman. Wow. That's how he constrained that woman. Don't see that old man like that and think that he's some kind of nice man. Alright? Don't see that old man like that and think that he's some kind of nice man. He is a dirty old man. Very, very dirty. Very, very, very dirty old man. He's a very, very dirty old man. That's why he did to that woman. Let's listen to the woman here again. Let's listen here. And I hope the woman will explain the damn thing into her dialect so that people can listen to it here. Tell the old man.
Then he told me, he started sending me text messages. So we started communicating how he want to have me, he been loving me from the day he set eye on me. I said, okay.
Oh, man, Joe.
Yes, and I was playing with him.
He's a nasty man.
And then it went on.
Even Madam Ellen Johnson Salif is fully aware of it.
So it came to a point I told him, I said, Joe, you are caught in your web. If you don't release my husband container now, I will publish all the text messages. So I said, you are a very wicked man.
So the Joe Parker man here decided to hold the man barrier or container at the port, abusing power. That's what he did. Abusing power to subdue this man so that his wife can fall in love with him so that he can be able to give them what they need. You see how this old man is so nefarious? That's the man that people behind. You see, folks, now you can see the big picture coming together now, right? He got criminal Stanton Witherspoon behind him. He got Mo Ali. He got Robert Party. He got Eddie Starr. You see how all these guys then who got a nasty character now behind the old man? And do you think that country deserve to be in the hands of the people? Absolutely not. Look, I would have been happy if Unity Party had put out a candidate other than Joseph Walker. I think it would be a better competition. If Comey has stayed with them and he had been the head, there was going to be very good hope for the Unity Party. But you listen to the old man. Nobody never said anything about Child Walker Brodsky. May his soul rest in peace. For Europe, I don't know where the hell he is right now. I'm not going to count him in there. Nobody ever came out and say anything about George Weah. Nobody said anything about Ellen. And all the other political leaders that are below the big three or the big four, you don't hear people say anything about them. But it is a disgrace that a man of that kind of age is running behind somebody's wife and at the same time trying to subdue the man. This is uncalled for. This is so embarrassing, folks. You need to share this post down here. These are things that Liberians need to understand before they get to October the 10th. These guys want to do more of what you see here. More abuse upon the Liberian women and children. They want to hijack the economy and be telling your wife out there, oh, come here, we'll do that for you. That's what Joe Bogart wants to be president for. That's why he's breaking the people behind him. Can you imagine as vice president, how he there abusing your kind of power? And then you want to make him president? Let's listen to our sister here more, folks. Let's listen to her here more. Go ahead, my sister.
People in Liberia, they are blind. They have eyes, they have hearts, but I think they are not feeling. It's so sad that they are not feeling who this old man is. It's not what you see. He's deeper than what you see. He's very wicked.
He is.
He don't even want Foya to progress. I was born right in Foya, Boma. I don't care what Gizi people feel, but I will tell them the truth. This man has ruined my life, ruined my children's life. He have destroyed us. Because they have land in Nimba County. They have land in Basel. My husband is from Fortville. The Bastonians have land. And we left. Can you imagine where we have to leave to come to Foya? He been in government for how many years? And the road stay like this. What can he do now? Because he don't want we the youth to do it. It gotta be him. When you buy a car, after a few years, it's not the same capacity anymore. So Joseph Brackett, he can do nothing. So whensoever you see a youth that is progressive, he become talented. He will act to you like he loves you, he's nice, and bring you in and destroy you. But Joseph Brackett cannot destroy us. Can you imagine for him to write ECOWAS and telling them they should not give us the money? Joseph Brackett has robbed my family all of everything. All of everything we ever worked for.
Sorry, Collector, 1 minute. Mr. McIntosh,
Yes, sir.
critical upon what you have explained along with your wife. First, the people as Foya are deeply sorry. This is so frustrating. But
It's not only frustrating, my brother, but it's nothing but wickedness. This old man they call Joe Bogart, he's a very wicked old man. Let me tell you guys right now. A very, very wicked old man. Not saying that he's a very, very wicked old man that don't deserve any opportunity in our country. Let me tell you right now. This old man they call Joe Bogart is a very, very wicked old man. All right? Don't see a face looking at that thinking that he's old man. No. His ways are not old. His ways are very wicked. All right? Very, very wicked old man that who he is. Very, very wicked old man that who he is. And nothing he was able to do in his role yet. Nothing he was able to do. You see he wrote it here? Nothing he was able to do. All he did was just merrymaking. Took more money into the his expenditure for himself. That's all he did. Now, folks, let's come to another important part here now. Let me bring you guys to another important part. The man said he was traveling or he was on his way to his hometown. And he stopped and had an interview. Now, he said he called himself rescue, right? Whenever you see Joe Bogart, be careful with him. He's a guy who quick to approach people, women, and turn to want to get them cell phone. That's how I want you to look at him now. He's a cell phone man. All right. He think that women that had not handled iPhone before, but he is about to participate in an interview. Let us roll the tape, and we're going to analyze this interview here. Let me progress here.
Council Basil. Put it Sony on. Put it computer on.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Can we keep the chair?
The public electricity.
Electricity, we own more energy power. Yeah,
to the camera from the public. I would change your chair. Remember when the camera, that changed our chair. The camera from the public.
What the chair from Ivory Coast? Yeah, the West
What a chair you need to change?
Sometimes it will come, go. But when our partners, Airports Radio, also 16 pieces. So I'm that I want we own right now. So it will carry us throughout the day. Then in the night, we switch to the West African Power Pool. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The music sing, the Israeli. They say, I told you people before about Samuel. When I was selected Samuel, I told you people. The all the crying you're doing, I told you people before. Yeah.
Let me speed on it here a little bit.
Yeah. No. Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boakai, Ambassador Boakai, as you may be aware, he's on his campaign trail. He's in Bonkai. He visited some communities yesterday, so he is in the capital city, Banga. So he'll be trading all some of the things and what he intends to do for Liberia when he is given the opportunity to serve as president of this country. So he has come to provide some of the basic things for us. Ambassador Boakai will say, good morning, welcome to Radio Banga. Yeah, it's on the mic, it's on.
Now, I want you to get into the interview. Let me prepare your mind to get into the interview. I want you to understand the following things. All right? I want you to understand the following things as we get into the interview. And I'm going to put those things up for you. Joseph Boakai, all right, as you can see here, Joseph Boakai, his public career started from 1973 to 1980. It continued from 1980 to 1982. And then from 1983 to 1985. And then in 1992, he also came back to public service. Joseph Boakai also for 12 years, from 2006 to 2018, worked in the alien administration. He worked in the alien administration and took on so many responsibilities. He provided oversight in plenary, making sure that the deal that were passed and every other concessions that were passed are things that Joseph Boakai should be saying on any interview. On any interview. And not to mention, Joe Boakai saying this in this interview.
Lifted its economic sanctions.
Listen to this.
As countries that are still trying.
Explained that rebuilding the country's infrastructure is a lengthy process and one that may often extend beyond a presidential term. The Liberian vice president also announced that he will run for the top seat to succeed President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf during the 2017 presidential elections. He said he is running on Sirleaf government's record.
Thank you very much.
The man said he will be running on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf record. So what are we going into the conversation interview with Joe Barker? One, Joe Barker has experience that he always said is around 45 years. He also said that he served with Ellen for 12 years. My math, 45 plus 12, that's 57 years. We know that Joe Barker was resident manager for LPMC, an area that's supposed to help Liberians be sufficient in food production, right? When Joe came to power, Joe gave him promotion from resident manager. Joe brought him up to what? Director. Why am I bringing this out? This is a man who said he wanted to be president. What happened to the country? The country had a lot of challenges. This interview, Joe Barker should not only be talking about himself. We want to listen to Joe Barker's experience. What made Joe Barker reliable to be president? What made Joe Barker qualified to be president? What political credential is Joe Barker bringing to the table? Every football player that is transferred to a new team, you come in with the quality of being a good football player. You are coming as an added value because the past performance on other clubs give you the ability to come and shine. Those of you who got promotion when you were hired by another company, based on your performance, you were able to get the promotions. You are about to listen to a man who claimed to have 45 years of public service experience, not to mention the 12 years he spent with Ellen. Let's get into the interview and see what he has to offer for us.
I'm happy to be here.
Good. So how is it? How things been with you?
Well, we just arrived yesterday, and thanks to morning, he gave me a real uncooked food. He didn't make me rest for 1 minute, but it was a good food, going all the way to Sanaye, coming through Phoebe, and all the various places that we entered. We were very happy welcome. It was a very good trip.
Good. So, all the areas, particularly in Bob County, yesterday you started. So, how is the momentum? What are you seeing in the faces of the people? Are you seeing sincerity in their faces in terms of your election?
It would appear to me that the Liberians rescued very well. So that's the message, and we're very happy to meet with them and talk with them as we are doing. Everybody is in high excitement.
So, the next question on my mind is what you just talked about. You call yourself rescue team. So, what is it? What do you mean by rescue team?
I know it took a long time for people to understand, and some of you, the other people. But I do believe that this country has a lot of opportunities, a lot of potential that have been unutilized. And I would believe that this is the best time to put it on the track to do that. We have a society well endowed with young, brilliant people, well endowed with good agricultural land, well endowed with people who are eager and willing to work. But the system that we have in place has really been built to include everybody, to make everybody useful. And this is why we say it needs to be rescued, especially so. This has been made more visible by the kind of government that we have in place that has even marginalized a lot.
So let me ask you guys this question here, right? So let me ask you guys this question. He is explaining why he wants to bring the rescue into his style of governance. And he's now saying that the system we have in place. So is he admitting that he and Ellen operated in a system that disenfranchised people? If the answer is yes, we have another question for him. He recognized that the system did not create opportunity for the Liberian people. Why after the first term in office, he did not resign? When you listen to him telling you that, oh, the system who got here, they had not done enough for the people, why did you stay on for 12 years when there is no constitutional requirement that say once you are elected, you must remain there until you leave power? That's not what the Constitution say. Today, William Arrow Tubber died in 1980, and today history will tell you, say, Tubber, no vice president died with Tubber, because Tubber vice president did not agree with some of the things that he was doing, and he resigned. Yes, and he resigned. Joseph Boakai want you to understand that what Ellen did, that he recognized was bad, that it was not something that he did not see or did not understand. So when you listen to him telling you, oh, the system is bad, he helped to make the system worse. I want to make that clear to you. Which one of you right now will see something bad and will not call it out or register your complaint? Remember, Joe Boakai got 45-year experience. Joe Boakai said with Ellen, why he's not telling you guys what he and Ellen did to fix the problem? Let's listen to him more.
A lot of people, the government with no plan, they came in mind with no plan, they told you they had no plan, and they are demonstrating that in the...
Okay, so if Joe Boakai tells you that this government got no plan, which is not true, because after Joe Boakai will bring in George Weah in, you don't see the good part of the lecture here. Since Joe Boakai is saying that the government has no plan, when somebody says this person don't have a plan, what's supposed to come next? They are part of the plan, right? So, let's listen to Joe Boakai say the person got no plan. He was with Ellen for 12 years. Joe Boakai should be telling you guys out there what plan that he and Ellen had in place that was better than George Weah plan. You condemn the man plan, right? He said he ain't got no plan. You condemn anything, he said, in fact, he ain't got no plan. All right, hands up. Go on the floor and tell her what did you and Ellen do. Let's listen to Joe Boakai here.
Very, very visible way. Our country, the judge mainland, I want to leave this country in the hands of a prepared generation, in a prepared society, a society that wants to work.
So he telling you that he wants to leave this country as a prepared country. So Joe Boakai is telling you that he and Ellen failed the Liberian people. That's why he's using I. So he's trying to separate himself. But remember, that man said he was going to do what? Run on any record. Let's play the video here again. What did Joe Boakai say? He was going to run on any record. Load the video up.
And one that may often extend beyond a presidential term. The Liberian vice president also announced that he will run for the top seat to succeed President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf during the 2017 presidential elections. He said he is running on Sirleaf government's record.
Okay, he said he's going to be running on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf record. How now can he come and say, I want to leave a country with the people that will be better off? What happened to the Ellen record he said he was going to run on? You see, Joe Boakai is not only a crook, a man who can lie, a man who is an adulterer, or a man who wants to commit adultery. He is a liar too, and he is very incompetent. He can't say anything that he did better in the past. Don't get vexed with me. I'm only alluding to what Joe Boakai has done and what he's saying. I'm not insulting here. I'm only challenging his ability to lead. There's nothing unconstitutional about that. There is nothing in the eyes of being respectful that I am doing wrong here. I'm only looking at Joe Boakai's incompetency. I'm looking at his character, and everything I'm saying here are things that either he said like setting the baby good, or something the woman said he tried to approach her, or he performed a record where he said he was going to run on any record. Why he's not running on any record now? Listen to what he's saying here.
The opportunity for work. Young people that need to be trained, they need to work in their country.
So how many young people did you and Ellen train, Joe Parker? You see, that is where the record, and you just heard he said he was going to be running on Eden record. Why isn't he telling us now, look, when we were there, now will, but these are numbers that show that the young people that were in our care, these are the things that we did for them. Joseph Boca is not saying no thing. He's speaking in future tense. Oh, we will do this. But this is a man who served. This is a man who people brag about having 45 years of experience. And he cannot tell you what he did in the past and then he want to be president. He's not new on the block. He is not new on the block. You need to understand that you're going to election. You guys are looking at a man that will not do anything for that country. He's setting you up for failure. A man who served with Ellen for 12 years, a man who had 45-year public experience. He cannot tell you why when Joe Boca was resident manager for LPMC, what did he do for the people to uplift them? What can he say it here? When Joe elevated him to be managing director, what did he do for that generation? When he was Minister of Agriculture, what did he do? What program did he put in place that benefited the people's life? This old man got no experience whatsoever. That's the man that say he want to be president? That's how embarrassing it is. Let's listen to him here more, folks. Let's listen to him here.
Trained, I want to be given the opportunity. That's the mission that I'm on, and that's what I want to do.
Okay. Good. That is good. But I know you've been hearing this.
So what made the journalists think that what Joe Boca just explained, that what make it good? The journalist is uninformed. That journalist in that studio is uninformed. You are talking to a former vice president. You are talking to a guy who served in different roles. Hold on there. Let me just prove the journalist wrong. Let me prove the journalist wrong. Hold on there. Let me prove them wrong. Let me bring something here for you to understand here. Because we got to make sure that we provide all the necessary proof that will convince anyone out there about Joe Boca incompetency. You looking at that journalist telling you right now, oh yeah, yes, he's satisfied with the question. Are you kidding me? Really, Mr. Journalist? Are you serious? This is how the people are misleading our people in our country over there. I want to remind you that this guy served with Ellen for 12 years. And he served in various capacity. And we saw the role that he played. You guys are aware of that. You saw it. You read it. But this is the man who the guy just got ready and said, oh, yeah, it's okay. Let's move on to the next question. It makes no sense, folks. It wouldn't make no sense. Let me find what I want to show you guys here before we move any further here. All right? Let me try to find this thing here. Let me go into Joe Boca photo right now and pull the thing out so that you guys can get to listen to Joe Boca here. This man you call Joe Boca, he's nothing. He's nothing. The old man is nothing. He's nothing. Listen to the interview here. Listen to the other one here.
I made to a real market road, good t-shirts.
Gotten. So a lot of people are saying you're part of the old guard. And what is this? A lot of people are also saying that you are part of the old guard. Mm-hmm. And why are you trying to run in a country that is largely dominated by young?
Gave opportunity to the rural community in the cottage industry. You'll be able to give the young people a job in the management of hotels and things that will give them the confidence that there is a future for them.
All right, so I would like to delve into the politics of Liberia, going back to the post-war politics of Liberia and how things are pretty much run. And a lot of people are also saying that you are part of the old guard.
Yes.
And why are you trying to run in a country that is largely dominated by young people? You served in Samuel Doe's government.
Good.
And President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf couldn't openly endorse you while the elections went on and on because it was stated that she come out to say that I'm not supporting any of the two candidates when he went to runoff. Before the incumbent president, George Weah, got in. So a lot of people are saying you're part of the old guard, and what is this vendetta? That things are not probably as you say they are, but they also agree to the fact that yes, there's been massive corruption and all of that, but what new are you going to bring to Liberia? Because you are part of the old guard. You've been in and out of the circle of power since '83, since the Doe time.
Yes. You see question? You see sound journalists asking question? They're looking at his record. They want him to be able to admit to his record, his past performance, to match it up today with today's reality. When you listen to these good for nothing or journalists in Liberia who are asking that kind of question, you think they gotta making sense? And that is why we are here to make sure that a few of you guys that come here, your mind will be refined. Joe Boca is not competent for anything. He is not competent to do anything in our country. These journalists, they are already being bought. They are not sound journalists. They got no experience. Let's be honest here. You just saw Joe Boca performance record here, right? Let's go back to Joe Boca performance record here, all right? These are the areas that Joe Boca served, all right? Let's go back here. Joe Boca served in his role here. Managing Director, LPMC, all right? Joe Boca served in that role. And then from there, Joe made him Minister of Agriculture. But he cannot articulate anything in regards to that role. And then you got the good for nothing journalism. Let's listen to the next question they're going to ask here now. Listen to this.
Hearing that, look, the Unity Party was in power for 12 years and did nothing. So what are your tips on that? I know you've been hearing that.
Well, the question comes back to you. Is that true? People say what they say.
Can you imagine? The question comes back to you. Is that how somebody's supposed to answer a question? The question comes back to you. What about the guy from Nigeria that asking that question? You are from the old guy. How can you be better now? Why he can telepose the question back to you? This old man is unable to explain anything. This question gave the journalist then a plus. I think the first guy who asked the question is different from the guy who asked the second question. Let's listen to that question again, folks. Maybe we missed that. Let's listen to that question again. I want us to listen to that question together. Let's go and listen to that question again.
The government with no plan, they came in mind with no plan, they told you they had no plan, and they are demonstrating that in a very, very visible way. Our country, the judge Enron, I want to leave this country in the hands of a prepared generation, in a prepared society, a society that wants to work and be given the opportunity to work. Young people that need to be trained, they need to work in their country, that want to be given the opportunity. That's the mission that I'm on. That's what I want to do.
Okay. Now, guys, I want you to listen to the second question now. Let's listen to the second question and how well that next, because there's several journalists in there. We're not going to write all of them off. So the guy who asked the second question, he was very vast. He seems to be very vast, and he well articulated that question very well. So let's listen to the question here.
Good. That is good. But I know you've been hearing this around street corners. You yourself, you've been hearing that. Look, the Unity Party
The guy ready want to ask our question. So let's go ahead.
was in power for 12 years and did nothing. So what are your tips on that?
Did you hear that question there? So let me just reiterate that question. I know some of you guys already listened to that question. This guy is saying the argument on the street, the argument at the Italian shop in America, in Europe, Liberians are saying you were with Ellen for 12 years. You know what he's asking for? Remember when Joe Boca said he would run on Ellen record? That is part of the answer that he should be providing. Let's listen to how Joe Boca is going to answer that question right now. Let's listen to him.
I know you've been hearing that.
Well, the question comes back to you. Is that
how the hell the question will come back to somebody? How the hell the question will come back to somebody when that somebody was not part of the any government? You see how incompetent the old man is? This is the man that people, because Mo Ali is not over there again. Let me tell you about Joe Boka's weakness, right? The papa cannot answer any question. Yeah, where it starts from. And this is where I want you to understand that Joe Boka is work for them. All right? Listen to this here. Listen to this.
There will
Joe
be a
Boka
very
is
short
micromanaged. Listen to
interaction,
this
5 minutes review between the Senate bearer and the press. And at the end of the Senate bearer speech interaction, there will be 3 questions from the press. Thank you, Mr. President.
So they get already introducing to the press. Instead of him starting to talk, yeah, where it got very ugly. All right, listen.
And again, it is about the trip, sir.
They teaching him how to talk. They teaching him how to talk. The girl can, let's listen to the girl again, folks. You see, this is what we're doing here is we are carrying out slow analysis, looking at the character, the performance of every candidate, and we are always focused on Joe Boka because there's something that Joe Boka is hiding from you guys that is not just his sickness. This old man is very incompetent. He got no experience, never served in any elected position. All the positions he has served in, he has been elected. Now he faced with an opportunity that he can prove himself, but he always disproving himself. Let's go back again and listen to this girl. They pulled the girl key and introduced Joe Boka, right? So let's listen to the introduction.
There will be a very short interaction, 5 minutes review between the Senate bearer and the press. And at the end of the Senate bearer speech interaction, there will be 3 questions from the press. Thank you.
The girl did not say Mo Ali will speak on behalf of the old man. She did not say anything like that. She did not say the girl will speak, Mo Ali will speak on behalf. She didn't even turn it over to Mo Ali. Right after her introduction, she turned it over to Boka. But because Boka is brain frozen, Boka has a pacemaker. Boka got no experience whatsoever. He leaned onto Mo Ali to help him lead the way. So you're listening to his incompetency here now.
And again, it is about the trip, sir, your impression and what you think that people need to know about the You're not still You're just giving them your impression about.
Doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what to say. And you know what he said in the interview here? When the question was asked of him? Do you know what he said?
What they say. That is good. But I know you've been hearing this around street corners. You say you've been hearing that. Look, the Unity Party was in power for 12 years and did nothing. So, what your tip on that? I know you've been hearing that.
Well, the question comes back to you. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, the question comes back to you. Because Mo Ali is not there. Because if Mo Ali were there, he was going to tell and say, look, you were in power with Ellen for 12 years. Say this one, say that one here. This old man is not in any position to answer any question. He's not in any position to say anything. Folks, we are looking at Joe Boka qualification. Yes, that's what we're looking at. Joe Boka is not qualified to be anything. He is not reliable. Read on here. Joe Boka is not reliable to be trusted with state power. We are not saying it because we dislike Joe Boka, but you are seeing the evidence here. You are watching Joe Boka, and all we're doing here is we are just analyzing things. This old man is completely incompetent. The people that are around him just feel that because of his age, he can be president. But we are here to tell you that this old man got no qualification to be anything in Liberia. He's not fit to be anything. Nothing. How can somebody ask you, say you are in power for 12 years with Ellen? Then you say, oh, that question go back to you. Guys, come on, man. What sense does that make to you guys? What sense does that make for you guys? What understanding can you get out of this thing here? Let's listen to him again, folks. Let's listen to him here. Listen to him here again.
People say what they say. The Unity Party was the one who raised this country from a failed state, the one that built it. The Unity Party.
Failed state? Isn't Ellen who did the worst thing in the country? What did you build, Joe Boka? You got to be very specific with what you built. Anybody can say they built this, they built that. What did Unity Party build, Joe Boka? You see, Joe Boka got no tangible to defend. That's why you see Unity Party built. That is an ambiguous statement that makes no sense right now.
And most of these people who are critical of Unity Party, they were part of it. They believe that being part of the government, you must be president. Mr. Weah was in government. Weah was in the government.
What we are asking about your 12 years, Joe Boca, they're not asking about opposition. They did their part. CDC then challenged you all the way. Joe then challenged you all the way. You were head of this. You were part of the Senate. You served 2 days every week of the Senate. You were there. All right? So the 12 years you were there, Joe Boca, let's come back to this thing here. Joe Boca was there for 12 years, right? Let's look at Joe Boca's role here. What is Joe Boca saying? He provide or he presided over the Senate plenary section every 2 weeks. What did he achieve? What did they achieve together? He provided oversight over the Liberia National Library for 12 years. He was providing supervisory role at the Liberia Marketing Association. What did he do? The Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment. What did he do? What can he talk about these things? You bring in Joe Weah in here?
In fact, they were in the key decision making of the government.
Of course, but you're in the Senate too, right? Did you register any disappointment? Joel Howard Taylor was a senator in the opposition. Joe Weah was a senator in the opposition, but you presided over the Senate plenary and your signed 66 Booker's deal. When did Joe Boca ever come out during that time to say, hey, I'm going to reach out to the president. I don't think the deal going to help the Liberian people. It is bad. It is dead. When did Joe Boca ever register his complaint? Nothing. Nothing. So he's not answering that question.
And they know what the country.
There you go. He throwing blame again, right? Joe Boca is a man that throw blame all the time. He throw blame. To fire him for poor performance. He didn't say to promote him, but he said to fire him for political reason. That's who he is. He throw blame. Joe Boca never believed that he should hold himself accountable. The boy asking a very comprehensive question that summarizes his 12 years with Ellen about what people have been saying that they did nothing. He's not even articulating that the year he spent in the Senate, what did he do? What bill that was passed? You see, Joe Boca is unable to talk about the legislative accomplishment that he and Ellen did. You see, folks, in any government, especially a democratic government, a government that triangulates, you got the executive going to the judicial branch going to the legislative branch going to the executive can go to the legislative branch, and then the legislative branch can go to the judicial branch. Joseph Boca and Ellen, they are supposed to, Joe Boca is supposed to tell you that he and Ellen honor their policy. Remember, Ellen failed policy. Let's come to some of it here, right? Ellen failed policy right here. Right here. You see down here? Tearing down Ellen Johnson's policy. Now, in 2005, when Ellen was running, Ellen said in 2006, she declared war on corruption. Corruption to be public enemy number one. Why Joe Boca cannot tell you guys for the first 6 years how they destroy corruption, what war they took to corruption. 2011, they forgot about corruption, and you know what they said? They said Liberia promised. Why did they promise Liberia that Joe Boca will come and tell you guys, we promised the people this and we deliver this? But right now he's throwing blame. We got everything that Joe Boca is not able to defend because Joe Boca and Ellen did not do anything in our country. I have no quarrel with Joe Boca as a human being. What I have as a concern, as a risk factor, is to give someone like Joe Boca any opportunity to be president in our country. He's not fit to be anything. He cannot defend nothing. Nothing he can defend. All right? That's my point. So let's listen to him again.
What moving to. So the Liberians don't believe it. The Liberians, they always say the Ellen days, Ellen and Joe Boca days were the best. And so today.
When did they say that, Joe Boca? And why are they saying that? And why we're not hearing them? What can you point the Liberian people to? What can you point the Liberian? You see, talk is cheap. Joe Boca only talking because talk is cheap. But there is nothing that comes with that talk. It's like somebody going to the store. Remember, yeah, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. Okay, do you have the pocket to buy these things you're talking about here? That's what Joe Walker does not have. He talked about these things, but he got no cash in the pocket. This man you look at, he got no political stand up, no political credit to discuss anything with he and Ellen. Nothing. I mean, that he and Ellen did. Absolutely nothing. Look, Joe Walker, we can talk from now to tomorrow morning. Joe Walker cannot convince anybody. This man is, Joe Walker is very, very unreliable and he cannot be trusted to be anything in our country. I'm telling you guys, folks. Joe Walker ain't work for anything. All right, so let's listen to him.
Getting salary, hospitals are not being given medical supplies.
Okay, so you calling all the things in here, right? Hospital, not this, hospital, not that. What did you and Ellen do? When you provide A, you should provide a B to it, all right? That's what you need to do, all right? When you provide A, you provide B to it. Because I don't want to say you should translate that. Because if you take the original B and consider it as a prime B, that means that it's the same thing, but you take it to the next level. So there's no way that we can present those things here. We want Joe Walker, all right? So let me just come here and just demonstrate to you guys what I'm saying here. You see, in little math, all right? Let me just write it in here for you guys quickly. What my sheet right here? So there is something in mathematics they call translation. All right, let me just draw that here for you guys quickly here so you can see it. Black always go on white. B is going to be translated into B, this sound here. All right, now you see this thing right here. Oh, I want to, okay, what Joe Walker supposed to not do. You see the B right here. When we translate the B to this B here, it got a little thing over the head right here. That is what we call translating. You translate the original B and bring it here. Like you make a mirror image of it. The only difference there is it has the same characteristic. It's just that it has been moved on the opposite side, and the way you can tell that it's opposite is by putting the little thing on the head. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want when Joe Walker say, you know what? Joe, we got pen, but we have what? Pencil. What my pencil? My pencil not here. All right, I will just use my finger. Joe, we have pen, but we have pencil. So that means you comparing your thing that Ellen did. He's not doing that. Let's listen to here so you can get to see how he is really messing himself up because he's messed up. Listen to him.
In fact, they were in the key decision making of the government, and they know where the country was moving to. So,
if you ask Joe Howard Taylor and Joe Weah what the country are moving to, what do you think will be the answer? You think they're going to take it? You think they're going to get anything? We all know how the country are moving. So don't go blame Ellen. I mean, Joe Howard Taylor and Josh Weah. The Liberian people know. Joe Walker, you are not in a place that don't know the history of you and Ellen for 12 years. That's what you're trying to say, Joe Walker. So nobody need to go ask Joel or Josh Weah. The people need to come and ask us. We know what you see, Joe Walker.
The Liberians don't believe it. The Liberians, they always say the Ellen days, Ellen and Joe Walker days were the best. And so today, teachers are not getting salary, hospitals are not being given medical supplies.
Okay, so now that you're saying that, what did you and Ellen do? That's the record now you need to bring out now, right? So you see now today, teacher not doing that, teacher not doing that. Let's accept that from Joe Walker as a fair reason to have the conversation. Let's hear what he's going to say. Now that he identified what we are then hasn't done, having done, let's hear what he and Ellen did. All right? Because that should be the contrast to that.
The roads are not being maintained. How will you ever say Unity Party didn't do anything?
Okay. That's it. That's it right there. You see incompetency on display. That's how messed up the old man is. You see how we simplify things here? You got to compare. You got to compare. Why you think you went to school to say less than or greater than? And you went to school, some of you guys say, oh, how are we going to use the math here when we grow up? Less than, greater than. He said he gave it Joe Weah than less than. What is here greater than? And he just left the question as an open-ended question. Because they did nothing. These guys did nothing. Nothing Joe Boca did. Again, he throwing blame. Joe Boga is very good at throwing blame. That's what he's doing. So this interview is nothing but a complete waste of time, waste of energy, because you are looking at an old man who is very incompetent. He is very, very he cannot even articulate the things that they did for 12 years. He didn't list anything that he and Ellen did. Oh, no school, they put out, okay, Joe Boga, when you say no school, what are you doing now to compare Ellen record with Joshua record? Why are you not bringing it out? You see how your brother and sister then, they are being misled today? This man said he got 45-year experience, 12 years with Ellen. They asked him for the past 12 years, what did you and Ellen do? He said, Joe, we were in the government. Joel were in the government. They saw what they did. But you just saw his responsibility, right? He provided oversight or plenary. And what did they do? They signed 66 bogus deal. Why can't he tell you that for 12 years, these are the things that we accomplished? We did this with the national legislature. That is something that we see as a legislative agenda that we accomplished. We did this for the different sector. These are the policies that we managed to accomplish. Where are they? He cannot say those things because there was nothing they did that was positive. Everything they did was wrong. That's why he got defeated. Do you think a Joe Boca and Ellen had a very good record? You think Joe Boca was going to be defeated in 2017? No. What you think Joe Boca has done since he got defeated by Joshua? Sat down in his home, in a wheelchair. He uses wheelchair. He uses wheelchair in his house. He don't bring the wheelchair outside. Y'all go put some secret camera or spy camera in your house. Joe Boga uses wheelchair in your house. So every time he come out, he get things some other know. Joe Boga people will talk to us. You know you got your sister-in-law in Philadelphia there. They can talk to us. You in wheelchair, Joe. We know that you in wheelchair. We know that, Joe Boga, you in wheelchair. So don't come say something here, all right? You also know that thing can leak in Liberia and hell. But the old man has no reason to be elected as president.
Good. So, Ambassador Boakai, how do you want to see Liberia to be, and what you want to do for this country when they give you the authority to lead this country?
All right. Let's listen to how you're going to answer that other question again. All right. Let's listen.
I'm so excited. I'm so much eager to see a new Liberia.
New Liberia in what
A new
terms?
Liberia, a vibrant Liberia, a Liberia that people will be.
So there were no new Liberia when Ellen said in her report that we are going to declare war on corruption, right? So Joe Boga is telling you now, when Ellen said, all right, so let's read this here. All right, let's read this here. I'm going to read it in part. She was responsible for fielding those outside expectation. In 2006, Ellen declared corruption public enemy number one. Only to preside over a notoriously corrupt administration. She and Joe Boca. Then, in 2011, while running a re-election campaign built around the Liberia promise, her then finance minister, that is Ellen finance minister, boasted about how they're going to create a middle class at the end of their 10 years. At the end of 10 years, they're going to create middle class at the end of 10 years. And then the rest of the 15 years. But guess what? Ellen then left Liberia along with Joe Boca with a GDP, all right? A GDP per capita of $455. So Joe Boca is telling you the new Liberia that he is dreaming of, that he's so excited about. He and Ellen together did not give the people new Liberia. He was part of it. He agreed to it. He did not resign. He did not resign. You see, Ellen for finance minister, the woman knew that Joe Boca and Ellen were not going to give the people a new Liberia. That is why the woman resigned early. That is why today you don't hear the woman any conversation surrounding Liberia except where she was out of the government. So when Joe Boga tell you, say, oh, I'm looking forward to a new Liberia, the man had destroyed the country. That's why he said he won't come back to come rescue. The man are telling you that the reason I should be president, look at what we did for 12 years. Look what we did for 12 years. I want record speak for itself. Didn't you hear Joe Boka? Let's go back again to Joe Boka here. What did he say here that he was going to do here? Let's come back here again. Let's come back here.
Includes peace, infrastructure development.
Listen here. Let's listen to Joe Boka here.
The United States has lifted its economic.
President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf during the 2017 presidential elections. He said he is running on Sirleaf government's record.
So where is the record? He said we're going to be running on Ellen Johnson's record. So let's come back to the question here where they ask him, why do you want to be president?
Loving that
let's
country.
go back to the question here.
Okay, good. So, Ambassador Boakai, how do you want to see Liberia to be, and what you want to do for this country when they give you the authority to lead this country?
Okay. Why you think he's supposed to be? How he's supposed to paraphrase it? Look, you know what Ellen and myself did for this country. You know our record. He's not saying that though. But he said he was going to be running on any record. Why isn't he running on any record? Because that record was destroyed by George Weah in 2017. And then, after that, what did Joe Boga do? Nothing. And what Joe Boga is doing right now, coming back with the same old record. So what vision does he have for the country? Nothing. Listen to him right now, trying to give you guys lies.
I'm so excited. I'm so...
Amen. You know who can be excited? Excitement comes from people who have been given opportunity for the first time. Excitement don't come from people who have been in government for over 45 years, who provided 2 days plenary oversight. That excitement is gone because they have been doing it over and over. They've been there and done that. Excitement belongs to someone like Clarence Monimba. Excitement belongs to someone like Tewo Gongolo. Excitement belongs to somebody like Joseph Kaleku, who will want to go into public service for the first time after coming from the private sector. That's where the excitement coming from. Not from someone like Joe Boka. I'm very excited. Excited about what? Oh, you're excited that you messed the country up, and then more I didn't think that you're going to get, you're going to go back again to go mess it up. I beg you, Joe Boka. I beg. This old man is very, very incompetent. My point here is Joe Boka got no experience. Every job that was given to him, he failed. Joe Boga got no vision. Joe Boga know that Ellen record destroyed the country. He want to separate himself from Ellen record, and it is impossible. It's like trying to take your shadow from yourself. Joe Boga owned everything that Ellen supported. Because the man sat down in the Senate. How many times we didn't cry here? No cow. Got a lot of deals. And Joe Boga was in plenary when Chevron came and the government of Liberia decided to overturn the nuclear contract. Joe Boka conceded to that. He never registered his disagreement on those things. Then he said he's very excited. Excited about what? Let's listen to Mr. Excited here again. Go ahead, Mr. Excited. Go ahead.
Much eager to see a new Liberia.
New Liberia,
a new Liberia, a vibrant Liberia, a Liberia that people will be active, loving that.
So, Mr. Joe, so you see what the journalist is supposed to say to him? So, Mr. Joe, or whatever they would call him to be, are you saying that you and Ellen did not give the Liberian people a new Liberia? You did not present Joe Weah with a new Liberia? Let's hear what the journalist would say. I would like to hear that follow-up question.
A country with a lot of activities that would lay the groundwork for development.
So, talking about activities, don't you think he should also be mentioning what he and Ellen did in terms of activities that they really gave to the population that were under their control that time? Don't you think Joe Boga should be talking about that? Of course, because Joe Boga said you're going to be running on Ellen record, right? So Joe Boga is essentially having this conversation, ignoring what he and Ellen did not do and presenting himself as if to say that he was not part of what he and Ellen destroyed. That is what we are here to dismantle, and that is what we are here to destroy, that Joe Boka cannot be trusted. This old man is not reliable to be anything in Liberia. He is lying to the people. He is part of a system that failed the people and never getting no better or new Liberia.
Good roads everywhere. Good road, good institutions for our young people. Country where medical supply will be available. The opportunities are there and we're not using them. We go everywhere, we have abundance of land. It's about time that we...
So you and Eddie did nothing really, right? There was no medical opportunity, there was no medical supply. So you agree that you helped Ellen to destroy the country, Joe Boka, because what the interview is all about. Folks, listen here. Let me just bring myself up here. You should imagine that Joe Boka will be given an opportunity question. Why are you so excited? Oh, I'm so excited. Look, if you imagine the policy that Ellen and myself had, look how we did so well to help our people. Now look how far we left the country and see how down Joe Weah have brought this country. And that's why the excitement is coming up. Look at the thing we did. We did. Nothing. But Joe Boka is telling you that he coming to create a new Liberia. When the people of Liberia gave Joe Boka and Ellen, when Taylor then left, people say it was a new day. It was a new Liberia. Joe Boka is telling you that Ellen and him did not do anything new in our country. Joe Boka is telling you that he and Ellen did not do no new Liberia. Period. But for 12 years, after Taylor left, people were happy. Oh yeah, the country coming to see new future. The new future, the people king, they wept all our debt. Yes, they wept our debt. Job and King, yeah, man, I say, leave. You and Boka, you're there, wept out. You're going to go start the country over here. The European Union say, you know what? Why we all you guys? You're wiping out. New Liberia, yes. And you got the incompetent old man telling you that he want to start a new Liberia. Let them go pay the people money back. Because every money that the people wave, they did not create a new Liberia. Joseph Boka did not create new Liberia. He lied to the people of Liberia. And that's the man that want to become president here? No and no and no. Why he not giving comparison to early record that is better than George Weah record? Instead, he said he won't create a new Liberia. What sense does that make? Joe Boka is not somebody strange to you. He said he got 45 years of public experience working for Tobo, Doe, Sawyer, and for Ellen. He's not even mentioning that experience. The people were not asking based on what he and Ellen did, and he cannot even discuss Ellen record. Joe Boka just feel that when he old age, you hate the job. If the man come to you and say he won't be president but cannot recall what he and Ellen did, you are inviting a problem in your life that you will never forgive yourself. And that is why we are here to tell you guys that Joe Boka is not competent to be anything in our country. And I'm saying it on the 1st of October as we go into the 9 days remaining for our election. I want you guys to understand that this man they call Joe Boka is not in any shape and form to be president of that country. He is very much incompetent.
Develop our land, feed ourselves. And I know I have the experience, and I know I worked in that line before, and I can't wait to see a Liberia.
What experience do you have? Forget, imagine you go for interview, right? You go for interview. You go for interview. The people asking you, what made you qualify for the job? I got experience. No. Tell us, what did you accomplish in a role? Whatever you implemented and you accomplished, that what build your experience. Your experience is not built on how you say, I got experience. No, we have to educate the new generation. That people cannot just come out and say, I got experience. It's like I tell you on the field, my man, I can play football. I can play. Really? Yeah, oh, okay. You just said I go play. No. I got experience. I can do the job. But you're not telling you what you have done in the past. Even though we know that you have experience. I mean, you participated. What experience do you have as it relates to your past performance? What people come in always say, Past performance will always determine future what performance. What did he perform in the past when he said to fire him for political reason and cannot get anything that he was doing that was so bad that those did not like? He didn't say nothing. You and I cannot defend Joe Walker firing from Ministry of Agriculture on a door to say this is what he was doing. The guy was so good, he was doing this. Nothing. If the Liberian people don't get the information we're sharing here, just by them going to vote for a loser, it is a disgrace to them. Let me progress here.
That will build up and compete with a common examination like ULLB, and I may respect that again.
Okay. So when you go around the country, do you sometimes feel disappointed with this country when it's going?
Very, very much. Very much. In fact, this is the reason.
All right, you go around the country, you feel disappointed. Now, what gave you hope? Tell about how it was. Before disappointment, what was the happiness? Before your disappointment, what was the happiness that you and Eddie had for the people?
I feel disappointed. I feel it's gone through. I feel we deserve better than we get. And that's the reason I'm on fire, to make sure that people receive a Liberia where a full potential will be utilized. And you can see in the faces of the people.
You see the nonsense there? Every question Joe Walker is answering, he's not relating to what he and Ellen did. In other developed countries, people will tell you, say, look, when our party was in power, we did this. We had a philosophy of changing things around. There's a man who running on Unity Party that led the country for 12 years. The man just asking, when you go around the country, what really you see? How impressed you are, then how disappointed you are. Oh, you know, the country is so bad off, things are like this. But he's not telling you what he and Ellen did that was so impressive that he should be elected to bring back that impression. There's no record.
You can see on the roads, I mean, for how long can we continue on these kind of roads? For how long can we continue to say no medical supply? TB hospital, for example, a referral hospital, lack of everything. What should we do? It shouldn't be a moving up and down. Like this country should be moving and moving. And that's what we understand.
Okay. That other lazy answer, very, very lazy answer from a very incompetent old man. You identifying things that currently exist, but you're not talking about things that pre-existed when you were with Ellen. That is the simple incompetence of this man. That's how incompetent he is. That's how incompetent Joe Walker is. He identifying things that he said that don't make sense. But where are the things that you and Ellen did? The man is putting his incompetence on display, and we're seeing it right here. Which one of you right now will go condemn something and you don't have the better one? Which one are you? You tell me, folks. Which one are you? You come and say the thing not good. Should be prepared to bring another one in. But that's who he is. You see, he knows that he and Ellen messed things up. But he don't want to come to bring more shame on Ellen. And he don't want to repeat it again because he knows that what defeated him. This old man got no political platform to convince anybody to be president. He ain't work for them. Tell you that one right now. Let me progress here.
You'll soon be going to the presidential debate. I know you have something in mind to tell your people. So, if you are elected the first 3 months, what are you going to touch? What will be the main thing you're going to touch?
I have said that the first 100, all our major roads, that every vehicle will be able to move. That already will begin to improve medical services, to improve the price of goods, because that's one of the reasons. And we will check all of the prices of the basic commodities. We want to know what is.
He doesn't even tell you how many roads in the country. There are 996 roads in our country. There are 996 roads in our country. All right? 996 roads in our country by my count. All right? And it will take 4 hours, 70 minutes to complete at least 60-mile road. That's what it's going to take. I have that math here. We did that math here before. I have that math. There are 986 roads in that country. And I think only 300 of that road have been done. And he telling you that, when he become president, he's going to fix that road. He's lying. He's not even giving the statistics over there. But when you look at what Mr. Weah is doing, what is he going to fix over there now? Why isn't he telling you what he and Ellen did in terms of the road? What did they do in terms of the road? What did they do in terms of the road? What did they do in terms of the road? What did they do in terms of the road? He should be giving you facts, right? He should be giving you data. He should be giving you information as to what he and Ellen did. How can you say 100 days you're going to do roads? So what did you and Ellen do? You read, Freeman? Zero. The president is doing all the road and you see the project he's doing. And got about in the 400 days. He just speaking all words that he doesn't even understand. Let's listen to him here again, folks. It will be a disaster for one person to vote for the man. Let me tell you.
Making the prices high for half our people and want to make sure we bring them to a comfortable level, removing all of the things that have been placed there to make life difficult for us.
Okay, all of the things that have been placed there, since when it got placed there? By you and Ellen? If the answer is no, what did you and Ellen put together that made the people's life easy? Why aren't you talking about those things, Joe Boka? I know Benin Liberians don't like the approach I'm taking, but this is one of the approach we need to take as we focus on our political leaders, that we give us a sense that when we put somebody into power, we know that the person has withstood the toughest question and the toughest analysis, and they will understand that we understand why they should be elected and why they shouldn't be elected. I know many people don't used to this kind of analogy or kind of conversation I'm having here, but this is why we build for a better leadership in our country. You are looking at a man who comes from the arcade days that don't even understand what it means to be a leader, and then he want to come and tell you something that he doesn't even understand how it works. You come from an administration that provided 12 years of service, and then you talk about role and days. Why can't he talk about what he and Ellen did that helped the people, that left that impression with them? Now that the impression has gone to disappointment or depression, he is not making any comparison in regards to that. He's saying things that if to say that he never participated in any governmental position before. That's how incompetent this old man is. A very good for nothing old man that want to be president. And I think from today going forward, he is going to be losing a lot of ground, all right? Because he's worth nothing.
Want to make sure that we lay the groundwork for an audit of the incoming government to make sure that they account for the work they have done, which is the right for the citizen, for them to tell them what they have done. And I don't think that should be any problem.
Yeah, you want to do audit. You got people who are corrupt, people who are morally corrupt around you, morally corrupt. You supported Brandon Samuka, a corrupt man. When did you register your concern about Brandon Samuka being corrupt? When? When did you register that? Let people hear, man, Joe Boka. You see, the old man is a crook, all right? A man who sell a bitter good to a fuller man and try to lie to the fuller man that the man you want to trust here. A man who try to go after another man's wife that the man you trying to trust here. Joe Boka is nothing. He's a very dirty old man. He has no plan for that country. You dealing with people who got moral issue. When like that you come out to say, you know what, I stand on with a spoon? Thanks but no thanks. I remember when Obama was trying to be president, Jeremiah Wright, who came and said all sort of things about the American. Obama came and said, look, I cannot support Jeremiah Wright anymore. I know this is a man who been father to my children, my religious father to my children, and myself and my wife. I cannot keep the man here anymore. I have to let him go. Because why? I want to be a man who will live by ethics, core value to build for myself and integrity. When last did you see Joe Boga condemning what Mo Ali was trying to do to that girl? When last did you hear Joe Boga condemn Robert Palmer for taking all his pens on social media? When last did you hear Joe Boga saying to Stanton Witherspoon, what you are doing in America, I don't think my lifestyle resembles those things. So Stanton, I appreciate your support, but I don't think I can be somebody that will really take your support right now based on what you have done. Nothing of that sort. Nothing. There's a man who decided to bring Prince Johnson on board, a man who has been sanctioned by the U.S. government. He allowed this man to appoint somebody in his favor. That's what Joe Boga has done. So that means he had no understanding of working with international partners as it relates to diplomatic means. Now, George Weah and McGill only met in McGill County. McGill did not recommend anybody to George Weah. Politics is local. Prince Johnson, prior to him getting on the Armed Service Committee, when the U.S. government said no, Prince Johnson had been senator over there all the time. Eddie had gone there, campaigning. That was politics being local. And that's why I said we are left from McGibby. You don't see we are and McGibby together. No. But not Boca. Boca took a recommended person from Prince Johnson, a man who had been sanctioned. So he essentially did business with the man. That's what he did. And the American government has saying anyone who has been sanctioned, don't do business. You don't see Serena Seafor behind Weah. You don't see Bakuba Jr. behind Weah. Neither do you see McGill. These guys are respecting the international partner understanding. But not Joe Boca. Then he talking about audit. We'll audit this, we'll audit that. That's a lie. He's not going to audit anything.
We want to make sure that we begin to improve the mentality of our people, to make them begin to love this country, to make them to see the country.
So the people are never loving the country during you at any time. Between you at any time, the people are never loving the country. So you see, the guy is not running on any record. So the guy is destroying here any record. So when you say when you try to begin to do something, it means that it was never done before. And that's who Joe Boca is. But everything you're talking about, those things are being done right now. But there's a man, I want you to understand that this guy say he got 45 years, whatever year, 42, 57, he's telling you that we're going to start a new Liberia. But he's been in public service and he had very high profile position.
At this, we want to introduce some of the things that will begin to make our country stable. That I tell people there's no tribal problem in right.
So there were nothing like stability during early time. Even though you had Union Mill. When you look at we have all no international protection in terms of security. And the country has been steady for all these years, even though you brought a tornado of demonstration. And you talk about stability? What a record. They make no record to defend.
So what are some of those things you're going to do that will make this country to be stable?
I want the young people to begin to know that they cannot be Zogos. Okay. They cannot be on the country. It's better.
So that means that he and Eddie did nothing for the Zogo then. So that means he lied to the woman in that interview that he was going to be running on any record. Because he's not saying that during any administration, look at our policy we have in place for the Zogo. He's not referencing anything. He's not referencing anything. It is just a matter of Joe Boga coming on to say, you know what? Me and Eddie messed the country up. Y'all give me a chance, let me try my luck. That's all Joe Boga needs to say. But he and Eddie destroy that country. That's why every question you ask Joe Boga, he's not going back to the 12 years. But at 12 years, they wasted money. They wasted money. Joe Boga in that 12 years was enjoying. In that 12 years, Joe Boga was enjoying. Yes. In that 12 years, Joe Boga was enjoying like nobody business. In that 12 years, what Joe Boga was doing in that 12 years. That's what Joe Boga was doing in that 12 years. Nothing but enjoyment. Absolutely nothing. And that's why he got no story to tell.
Stable to prepare them to take over development.
How that going to work? Are you going to be building?
Good. That's other guy asking good question. How that going to work? Because saying he don't want to admit, they say if Moses can come to the mountain got to go to Moses. There's a man who said he got 45-year experience, right? Instead of him breaking down things that he did in the past that gave people opportunity and the way he's going to do it, he want to cherry pick. Oh, the young people going to do this. No. The guy asking good question. Let's listen.
Institutions. Well, not within the 90 days, 100 days, but we are laying groundwork. We have to prepare the minds of the people to know that.
How you going to prepare the mind of the people? You wouldn't talking empty talk. How do you plan preparing the mind of the people? This is where now the running on any record supposed to come in, right? Because something that you're talking about, you are not dealing with a new generation. You're dealing with a generation that you and Ellen dealt with for 12 years. And you didn't put nothing in place. And now you say you want to come. You're not even referencing what you and Ellen did. And you know, you're not referencing it. You see, this is where Joe Boga does not have a political message. The central thing of a political message is to talk about strategy. You see, he hasn't identified the problem and to find a solution. He found a solution, but he has not identified the problem. What did I say here? The election should be about three things, right? The individual, the problem or the issue, the solution. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. What are you going to do something about what? Nobody got trying to ask him, oh, yeah, we're going to do that in 90 days. That's how messed up the old man is. That's how messed up he is.
Have opportunity that the groundwork for a new Liberia is coming. We have to talk the language they will understand to make them know that some of the hard feelings they've been having, that they can be laid to rest and prepare them for the.
What hard feeling? What triggering hard feeling? The old man is only talking bull liquor talk. That's what he's doing. He's only talking bull liquor talk. The old man is not running on Ellen record. I want you guys to understand this. He is not running on Ellen record because he and Ellen destroyed the country. If a man who tell you say he want to open a new Liberia, the new Liberia started when he and Ellen became president. That when Liberia they were erased. In the country they call America, when you get bad credit, what do? You go by and go and file for bankruptcy to start your new life over, right? When Taylor was taking out the country, they erased all our debt. We started a new Liberia. And then what? What did they say here in the second round here? It promised Liberia. In the report here, tearing down Ellen policy. What did Ellen then say here? She and Joe Boga, when they wanted the second chance. Look right here. Look right here. All right? Look carefully right here. You see right here? They said they were going to start a new Liberia. I mean, a promise, the Liberian promise. That's what they say here. In 2011, or they said then in 2011, while running for re-election, they came and said what? The Liberian promise. What did they promise the people? Then he told them talking about it. We will bore hole in everything that Joe Boga is talking here, and we will make sure that the Liberian people understand that Joe Boga is lying to the people. That's what he's doing. He's lying to the people. We got everything here. We tearing down the policy. Policy are the thing they ran on, but they never succeeded in that policy. Joe Boga can lie to Stanton Witherspoon there, and can lie to the other people there, but they will not lie on the platform here. All right? Joe Boga will not lie on the platform here. Let me progress here.
Okay, good. So, Ambassador Boaka, let me take you back to some of the campaign messages that people are carrying. People are saying that you said, I did not listen really to that look, this country, if we don't do it the right way, there will be no Liberia carrying. Can you interpret that to the people?
You could say it that way. Liberia is not houses. Liberia is not trees. Liberia is the people. I'm saying that if the Weah government will forever be re-elected, this country is fading away. When they say you're a failed state, you are not a country. So we're not talking about if Weah should know me better. It's because of my peaceful nature that he's president today.
What do you mean by that?
I'm a peace-loving person. I love this country to make sure that we build it, not we destroy it. So that is just nothing propaganda, the nation to destruction of this country. But we want to tell the Liberian people that it will be a huge mistake that will throw this country back and put it into a failed state. We have been re-elected.
That's not what Joe Boga meant that time.
Good.
That's not what Joe Boga meant that time. Let's try to bring what Joe Boga said that day. All right? Let's try to disprove what Joe Boga said on that day. He's not saying the truth here. The old man need to be honest with the truth. There's some problem with Joe Boga admitting to the truth. And we got to make sure that his supporters understand that and understand it very, very clearly here. Joe Boga cannot make a story of things that he knows that we already know. He cannot change his tone. That's not what Joe Boga said on that day. All right? Joe Boga said something contrary to what he is saying right now. Let's listen to Joe Boga here, folks. Let's listen to him.
That's why you have to protect it. If they think they will see this election, you will not allow it. Because if you do it, that's the end of this country. And we're not gonna.
You listen to him, right? If they steal the election, that will be the end of the country. So what did I say? What did I say? Joe Boga did two things in the eyes of the law that is considered to be what? A most specific and actionable things. You see, when you identify something, you're being very specific. And then the action that follows that is called actionable indicators. If you steal the election, that will be the end of this country. What end is he talking about when you listen to him here? But that is not the reality. The reality is when Joe Boga people started doing things, he encouraged them to do it. Watch.
We are ready.
I said everybody is violent too much. Let him come.
So after the so folks, you see another violent guy.
So when Joe Boga says that the country, if they don't win any election, that is the prelude to what Joe Boga is saying over there. So how can Joe Boga come out and tell you that thing was not right?
Today, another violence.
Liberians are showing up and believe that.
Look at me from this side, from Kwanwe. He came right here and pull it more down. Then one time motor come from this he pulled through. Who was there? The motorcycle chairman was myself and Ukoka. I said, I know they do look here. The people, the intention they come in with a different thing. For me, I will not wait because they want you already. For me, I will not wait to be outside on the something can happen to me.
So you see, here, it's here also. So another one is here as well. So you see right here, it's happening here. So after the signing of the Family Declaration today, after the signing of the Family Declaration, there's a smack happening here right now. So the Macron National Police are here. But the violence is getting intense. The violence is getting intense in Western Nigeria. We are currently here after the signing of the Family Declaration. All Liberians are talking about.
That's why you have to protect it. If they think they will see this election, you will not allow it. Because if you do it, that's the end of this country. And we're not gonna.
So let me hold you there, and let's go back to where we left off. Okay, let's go back to where we left off on that interview question there. Now we understand what he said. All right, so let's go back again and listen to Joe Boga again.
Weah should know me better. It's because of my peaceful nature that he's president today.
So what do you mean by because he's peaceful nature? So that means that in 2017 he was trying to bring up a war? No wonder why people say he was part of the local defense force. All right, let's listen to what he comes to say next.
I'm a peace-loving person. I love this country. To make sure that we build it, not we destroy it. So that is just nothing propaganda, the nation to destruction of this country. But we want to tell the Liberian people that it will be a huge mistake that will throw this country back and put it into a failed state with the Weah being re-elected.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's a lie. He got busted because you know why? Let me tell you why. His relationship with Prince Johnson is already putting him in a very bad situation right now. And when he made that comment, the number of posts that were out there linking him to he and Prince Johnson, even the Prince Johnson man told him that statement was wrong. That's why now he coming up with a soft tune. But when you listen to what I just showed you, you see how pumped up he was with that tune? He thought the people were going to buy that. That's why now he coming back to keep quiet on it. Joseph Boakai is nothing but a very incompetent man that got no sense of leadership in whatsoever he wants to do. Let's listen to him here because we are pressed with time. We need to go down to the George Weah factor. Let's try to wrap it up with Joe Boakai here.
So, I know you heard about the local situation.
Very much so.
Good. So, what do you take on that?
Well, we are getting more details. We know that there were some problems there, and the problems, we have some idea where they started from, but we are giving the police the chance, the authorities there, to do an investigation. I talked with the representative from there. He's supposed to be calling me to give him more details. I've received a lot of details from the women head of the Unity Party there. We are listening, but we have a pretty good idea what has happened and what is obtaining. And I definitely believe that the securities on the ground are going to handle it.
Okay. So what kind of elections do you want to see in Liberia?
Free, fair, transparent, credible.
We had the same election, Boakai. All right? Just say the same process. You and Ellen, you cheated in our 2005 and 2011 election. Mr. Weah came to office. You did extremely well to give Mobile Modu a very bad record. Darius Dillon, Simeon Taylor, all the guys then who got elected, they were elected as opposition, including Bochas, under George Weah. There was no time and there's no history that CDC ever rigged any election. You all know me, I can criticize CDC. I even came out one time and said, Polito Weah need to concede to Darius Dillon. I even said that CDC were not campaigning, they were womanizing, and they don't want that election again. So when Joseph Boakai went out there and said, oh, they're going to rig the election, the question here is, Joseph Boakai show us any history that CDC had rigged election in the past? None. Now he coming back and say, oh, you know, I didn't say that thing in a way because Joe Boakai know that social media, there are people here like us who will react to things that he say and he lie about, will come here and what? Bleach those lies. We'll get it bleached. We'll bleach those lies so we can see the truth of it. Now he want to talk about what? Free and fair election. Let me ask you guys a question here. Under Weah, how many opposition were elected? What gave Dillon today the opportunity to say, I will give Mosovaro County? How did he get elected? Isn't that free? Look, there are so many ways that we can destroy Joe Boakai's lies on the platform that is so difficult that he can resist those things. So we'll leave it here with Joe Boakai. Let's try to reach out now to the next phase of our conversation. Yeah, let's try to reach out to the next phase of our conversation. All right? And the next phase now will be taking us to Mr. Weah. Yes, to Mr. Weah. You watch the video clip from the beginning of the show here. There are a lot of things I said in that video. There are people who've been asking me questions. So today, as we begin the month of October, the things that George Weah is doing to make Liberia successful. This is where we're going to go deeper and deeper into that. But before we do, let us listen to what the president said once upon a time.
When you are not happy, when you go to the next election, you will decide what to do. The reason I'm saying this, we have a case study in this country. We know what happened. We wanted the president to go, but we did not know that you're going to affect us. The next thing, we were in refugee camps. Our path to refugee camps is over. We are moving toward prosperity. Let us bear in mind that those little incidences must not take Liberians back to where we came from. Government continues. President Taylor was here, he left, Ellen took it. She left it somewhere, we are taking it. That's why we don't blame any government. We don't say previous government. Government continues. You never had roads, we were not paved here. We felt that, yes, maybe the time for Her Excellency Ellen Johnson was short. We have to take it from there. When we leave here, someone will take it from there. But without peace and stability, no one can take it from nowhere.
That is the fight, folks. That is a fight. Without peace and stability, nobody can take it from anywhere. As we go into this conversation, I want you to focus on what the president just said. When Joseph Boakai comes out and tell you, say, oh, when they rigged the election. Rigging election bring about hard feelings. Rigging election make people uncomfortable. Mr. Weah was in opposition for many years. And he saw what happened during his time in opposition. And that was something that was not too great. All right, so let's change the topic here now. We're done with Boakai, so let's change the topic here now and bring in Mr. Weah. So this is going to be Mr. Weah topic here. So we're going to put that in blue just to make sure that we present the color code. So Mr. Weah is making a very important point that we will come to later on down the road. With that being said, let's get into detail here. Many times people will often call me and ask me, my man, what Weah is doing for the country? Those are some of the questions they will ask me. What makes you think what Weah is doing is better for the country? So I decided to put those things into context and you know what George Weah is doing for Liberia. I decided to put that into context and we're going to discuss these things here content by content. That's how we're going to discuss it. All right? And I want you to keep your eyes on what is down here. Because as we go into things, we're going to be breaking things down. All right? So, what Weah has done for the people of Liberia, let's go to the first image that we have here right now. All right? We'll try to wrap the thing up before we hit the 4 or 3 hour mark. Here where it started. What Weah is doing for Liberia. Here where it started. All right? When our country was at war. I want to remind the younger Liberian today and those who have forgotten. This is where it starts.
Thank you very much. When Arthur Ashe found fame, he did not close his eyes. He did not forget the many who could not share his fortune. When Arthur Ashe found fame, he used the equity of his celebrity to shine a light on ignorance and spark global understanding. Tonight, we honor another man who found fame and who chose not to forget, another man who begs the world to see and to understand. His name, like his country, may not be well known on this side of the Atlantic, but we're talking about a giant. His name is George Weah of Liberia. George Weah is one of the greatest soccer players of our time, from a nation where chaos has been the rule and where children are born killers. Spit upon, his house burned, risking death over and over again, George Weah has nonetheless gone home again and again and again. His relentless message of hope defies reason in an age of mindless terror and bottomless hatred. But this is a man born to be a striker, born to finish what he starts. George Weah refuses to close his eyes, and George Weah will never, ever let us forget how much work there is left to do.
I'm 16 years old. I born 1988, October 22nd. I was a leader. I was major. I used to lead 31 men every day to the front. Yeah, I'm tired of fighting now because there's no answer to war. I want peace for everlasting. I want for peace to be in the country for everlasting.
It began in 1980 with an assassination and violent coup d'etat. The government, in place for 133 years, was overthrown. And for over 2 decades thereafter, Liberia was overcome by civil war. Millions were displaced. The landscape was ravaged by poverty and disease. Hundreds of thousands were killed, including nearly an entire generation of children who had been drugged, beaten, and brainwashed to serve in the murderous campaigns of warlords.
The children here in Liberia have suffered enormously. Many of the kids, they've never done anything except hold an AK-47 and take lives.
We think maybe even up to 15,000 children have been involved in this war. They don't know where their mothers and fathers are, don't know where their brothers and sisters are. They are so angry about the war, they are so tired, they know the opportunities they've missed, and they want a future.
There was a light in Liberia that shined before and through the darkness. A game that offered a way to forget the war, and for one man, a way to rise above it altogether. George Weah grew up here, abandoned by his parents. He was one of 14 children raised by his grandmother. The only education he ever received was in the angles and artistry of soccer. His only classroom a dusty pitch near his home. And he quickly progressed from student to master of the game. His people would come to call him King George, a title befitting the greatest player Africa ever produced.
Delivered into the net by Weah.
He rose to stardom at home and then internationally. In 1995, he became the only man ever to win the African, European, and World Player of the Year awards in the same year. Famous, rich, and revered, he was distanced from his embattled homeland by miles and stature.
When he called from afar for UN intervention, the consequence was immediate and personal.
Oh yes, his house was looted, his cousin raped, and other family of his were affected. And as a result, they fled, went into exile.
Liberia has been such chaos and confusion, and it has affected George. The scars are pretty deep.
In these years, it was very difficult for me, coming from practice every day, watching television, Liberia on the news, people running away, people dying. So what I said to myself was, look, what can I do to better the situation in my country? I felt that Liberia is my country, that's my country, I must come back.
In 1997, at the height of the war, George Weah did come back, welcomed as a conquering hero.
He supported the national soccer team with over $2 million of his own money. As a player and coach, he led the Lone Star to within one win of a World Cup berth in 2001, reviving the pride and hope that had been lost in Liberia for over a decade.
We started it together, we have to finish it.
The team served as a unifying force within that time. Rebel groups, warring factions. Whenever Lone Star was playing, they stopped fighting and then just glued to the TV and glued the radio.
But the war continued. Still, Weah did not retreat to the safety and celebrity of his athletic life. The world's greatest striker stayed home and made peace his priority.
George Weah kept sport prevailing, no matter what was happening in Liberia. And he knows that he has a chance, with his international stardom, to actually keep the focus here for us a bit longer.
In December of 2003, a truce was declared, and Weah's efforts in Liberia have extended to saving lives.
So you guys can have a building for the children to go to school.
He now continues his struggle to restore the country, one child at a time.
Be with them, live with them, eat with them, play with them, I will know exactly what is going on. This is reality. I can run for reality. Every Liberian loves sports, so I know sports can play a vital role in the country, in our peace process, and sports can help to discipline the kids, to unify them. Don't you go?
Through soccer, there's reconciliation, that you can work out aggression, you can work out competition, but you do it within a legitimized structure, that it's talent that ultimately makes the decision here. And that's why George Weah is a symbol, that you can do it, that there is hope.
Peace to Liberia! Peace to Liberia! Free education! Free education! Disarm! Disarm! I want to say thanks to you all. God bless you, and I'll always come back.
He came back because it was home. He stays because helping Liberia is now his life. Evil men had forced the children to act as weapons of war. An honorable man has invited them to serve as instruments of peace.
If you make a stand in this world, what you find is soon you aren't one man, you have a crowd around you. And I think that George has managed to rally people to the cause of peace, stability, and to the future of Liberia.
He represents the glory, he represents the aspiration, he inspires.
It's an overwhelming responsibility that he has, but he bears it very well. He came back at the time of disarmament, kept his promise. He's making other promises, and I know he will come back and keep those promises again.
The international community is here to help us. But what can we do for ourselves? What will we do to protect our nation? What will we do to educate our kids? What can we do to bring about peace within ourselves? That's the question. It's in my soul. It's in my blood. It's part of me. I can never give up on Liberia. I can believe George because he's a man. A man do by a word. Yeah. Free education. Free education. Disarm. Disarm. Peace to Liberia. Peace to Liberia. Peace to Liberia.
So we'll hold it right there, guys. And that will take us to our next phase. When people often ask what George Weah has done for the country, I know there are many times that many of us disagree with George Weah, whether it's on personal basis, on policy basis. But one thing that I would always hold as a key reason to always defend this man is what you just saw. When you listen to some of the participants in the documentary, when Denzel Washington said when he called on the United Nations to help to bring peace to Liberia, they were on their way. When you listen to some of the officials, some of them may be retired today, dead and gone, but the information that they provided in that documentary remain a fortress, a fulcrum of why we enjoy peace today. So anybody ask me what George Weah has done for us? He gave us the post-war Liberia. He gave us the new Liberia. Because everybody tried. You saw all the warring faction. UNIMO K, UNIMO J, IMB, AVL, Nova Defense Force, LPC, you name it. They all tried. And none of them succeeded. People were still dying. But when Mr. Weah came and brought the UN, we still have that peace today. That is why Mr. Weah, if anybody asks you what George Weah is doing for Liberia, that's the first step. Let's get to the second step. George Weah is trying to make Liberia successful. We need to read right down here. All right? We'll be changing the thing here. He brought peace. I gave everybody the opportunity today. The Delong, the Nomli Kanga, the Elizana Cummings, you, myself. I brag about Liberia today, that stay on the street, that say all kinds of things. I'm not going to exclude myself. We said things. But what we were not able to do is what George Weah did by bringing peace to Liberia. When I say Mr. Weah is trying his best, everything is not go. Trying is better than doing nothing. When you listen to Joe Boyka telling you that he wants to build a new Liberia, but the same Joe Boyka man what we him for 12 years in the new Liberia, a Liberia that the people forgave the Liberian people dead. They canceled it out. They gave her a fresh start. Everything. They even asked Ellen, what do you want in the new Liberia? Ellen said, you know what? I need security. So, okay, we'll give you Unimil. And they were there for 12 years. Ellen asked Ellen, what do you want again? Well, new Liberia, forget our debt. The people say, okay, you got zero credit. I mean, zero balance. But what did they do? They did not even try. After George Weah managed to bring peace to Liberia, Ellen then during their 12 years, they did not even do anything as such as Ellen and Boyka are trying to make Liberia successful. Nothing. When Joe Boyka comes to you and tell you that we are trying to make Liberia better, I mean, we want a new Liberia, he's lying to you. Don't trust him. You see, the reason I often play this.
You gave me 6-year mandate. Now, give me my 6 years and see what I achieve. When you are not happy, when you go to the next election, you will decide what to do.
And that's the fight. And that is why we are telling you that he is trying. A country that come out of war for, a country that went to war for 14 years, if not 15, he came out, and whatever he started to do, whether it is explaining it or a summary, like what we're about to watch, let's listen to what George Weah is doing when we say George Weah is trying to make Liberia successful. Let's watch.
My fellow Liberians, I'm Attorney Daniel C. Gayu Jr., Deputy Information Minister of the Republic of Liberia. It's time to review President Weah's work done through the Ministry of Youth and Sports. President Weah has launched
So this is just one ministry, all right? So you're going to move on now to the next phase. Get the things George Weah is doing to make Liberia successful. So let's listen to one ministry. Let me progress.
$22 million United States USAID-sponsored project to provide 21,000 youths in Monserrado, Grand Bassa, and Lofa counties with technical training and mentoring. The YAP project launched last year will also assist about 8,000 TVET graduates transition to employment and entrepreneurship. To date, 3,000 287 youths have been impacted. President Weah, with support from the World Bank, CEDA, and ADF, has rolled out the $42 million Realize project to benefit 53,650 vulnerable persons in 14 counties by increasing their access to income earning opportunities and by expanding their income and livelihood support. Currently, a total of 5,000 persons have enrolled for temporary employment support, while 2,800 persons have been provided grant support for business startup. President Weah has secured $26 million United States dollars from the European Union to support technical and vocational training sector to increase youth employability and entrepreneurship. Under this project dubbed Youth Rising, President Weah has constructed a welding and fabrication workshop and has renovated 6 other workshops at the Monrovia Vocational Training Center. He is renovating the entire campus of the Tumutu Agricultural Vocational Training Center in Bond County and has constructed an additional workshop there. President Weah is renovating the Business Domestic Occupational Center while constructing additional classrooms plus a hospitality center. All of the workshops are furnished with new state-of-the-art equipment. Under the same project, President Weah, through the Ministry of Education, has granted high school-going youth more access to technical and vocational training opportunities by constructing, renovating, and equipping TVET schools at Cape Palmas High School, Sano Multilateral High, and Jueju Multilateral High. He is renovating the whole Habel Multilateral High, including its workshops. At the Booker Washington Institute, President Weah has established the TVET Center of Excellence, which includes the renovated computer lab, the electricity, carpentry, and joinery, automotive and air conditioning and refrigeration workshops. President Weah has renovated the entire Vonjima Multilateral High and has modernized its workshop with funds received from the Swedish government. President Weah has also renovated the workshops at the Weah Stockmont High with support from the Strive project funded by the French Development Agency. President Weah has recruited 120 TVET instructors for international training. The first 64 have returned and the next 56 are about to depart the country. Through the Strive project, he will build the capacity of 2,000 youths, offer capacity enhancement opportunities for 300 farmers, and provide long-term socio-professional integration of Liberian youth. To date, 5 electrical workshops, including those at Don Bosco High School and LORC Buchanan and Monrovia centers, have been completed. He has ensured the development of an improved electricity curriculum and has strengthened the agriculture and masonry programs across the TVET sector. President Weah's passion for youth employability has resulted into the graduation of 9,785 youths, with 63% of them females, from tuition-free government TVET schools. This number does not include those benefiting from free TVET programs in public high schools. In 2019, President Weah launched the LEAP program funded by the French government. His LEAP program has provided employable and entrepreneurial skills to 11,800 youths in Montserrado, Grand Bassa, and Mangibi counties. The beneficiaries were given small grants for business startups. His LEAP program also reactivated the dormant National Youth Service Program that has recruited and provided jobs for 93 youths in 5 counties. President Weah has reactivated the National Cadet Program that has recruited 246 fresh college graduates to provide them working experience in public and private sector and has retained 95 of them on jobs in 3 counties. In 2021, President Weah completed a substantial portion of the Youth Opportunities Project that benefited 14,108 youths in 15 counties. This was a World Bank and CEDA funded project. Under a component, 10,000 youth received labor subsidies and 14,108 received funding for small business support. President Weah also completed a very substantial portion of the AFDP-funded YEEP project to strengthen the capacities of UL, BWI, and NCCC to enable them design and deliver entrepreneurship and employment generation programs for youth. President Weah has ensured the allocation of budgetary support for the Coastal Sanitation TECY project, which provided temporary employment for over 5,000 beneficiaries in Montserrat, Bombing, Grand Bassa, Nimba, and River G counties. He also reactivated the Youth Connect program that has created training opportunities for over 50,000 youths. President Weah has reactivated the Adolescent Sexual Reproductive Health Program, under which he has built a youth center in Tiernan, Grand Cape County with support from UNFPA. The center has provided 7,524 at-risk youth access to HR services, and 361 girls have been trained in livelihood skills support. President Weah has refurbished the SKD Sports Complex to meet international standards after the stadium was banned for failure to meet CAF's minimum standards since 2015. Despite the previous administration's $18 million refurbishment carried a few years to his presidency, President Weah has added 23,000 bucket seats, artificial turf, press tribune, and other amenities to the stadium with less than $3 million United States dollars. President Weah continues to inspire and support Liberian athletes to reach the top levels of their sports. Liberian athletes won 21 medals at the ECOWAS Under 18 and Under 20 championships in Ghana, one silver medal in the African Senior Championship in Mauritius, and came second in Africa in the women's 100-meter hurdles. In 2021, Liberia came fifth in the world in 200 meters and 13th in the world in 100 meters hurdles at the Tokyo Olympics. In 2022, Liberia came fourth place in the 200 meters again at the World Games in Eugene, Oregon. This was Liberia's first time reaching the finals in the Tokyo Olympics and the World Games. In 2019, Liberia participated for the first time in the Special Olympics in Qatar. 5 athletes represented Liberia, and 4 gold, 1 silver, and 1 bronze medals were won. Today, President Weah has ensured that the country is developing sports through the grassroots level, with the LFA now conducting leagues for under 15 and under 17 for the first time in our country's history. Under President Weah, female soccer is improving with over 12 female teams participating in the National Female League. President Weah has also ensured that Liberia participated in all major competitions since 2018, and this is unprecedented. Thank you, Your Excellency.
So, as I said, folks, there are many things that I disagree with George Weah. There are a few things I disagree with him, and there are many things that I will come here to commend him for. The reason at the beginning of the program, when I said, President Weah, you are not president for Westonga Finlay, you are not president for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and if you hire the guy, let him give you a 3 to 5 year vision. What you just saw is the vision of the Ministry of Information. I have been very tough on Zilga Wilson, but when you provide the kind of statistics, the kind of data, it kind of defeats me. It only leads me to one thing, and that thing is to come here and provide these things. These are things that you can go into any circle of conversation and begin to outline what the president has done. This is what we call measuring your performance. Now, with what you saw, when you look at it repeatedly, you can go out there and strike a conversation. These are things that Joe Boca and Ellen were not able to do. That is why Joe Boca is struggling today to explain, because they did nothing. And that's why we are saying, well, get to know the things that George Weah has done. Get to know. There are things that have been done. And what are we also saying here? We're not saying George Weah is successful. We started with the topic, what George Weah has done. Well, Denzel Washington was able to present that to you. And what is J. Randy saying right now? Weah is trying to make Liberia successful. And what are we saying here? We present things to you that the president is doing, and then we also want you to know what the president is doing. We're not saying that everything is perfect. but he's making sure that everything is becoming successful. What you just listen to, don't you measure that as some sort of success? It may not be the perfect size fit that you want, but when you look at what we are talking about, Joe Boga is talking about New Liberia. They were there for 12 years. And he didn't tell you that they gave Liberian people New Liberia. But he's saying that after 12 years, I said with Omar for 12 years, I was all providing oversight in the other areas, and I did this. And it went out nothing good. Even though I was there for 12 years, I got more money for my personal office staff. Millions of dollars. I get nothing out of it, right? Even if I was getting 2 million, 2 million and 12, that's enough money there, right? Now how much is that? 24 million? That's how much I got. But there's nothing I did about it. So until you get to find a better platform, you will not get to see the light. There are other few things that Mr. Weah is doing. In addition to that, let's take a look at this one here. And we're going to change the topic for this. President Weah is making Liberia successful. All right? How is the success coming? Let's take a look at this and read through this. Which president of Liberia did the best to uplift Liberia and its people out of poverty? Liberia has had many presidents, and each has contributed to the country development in their own ways. However, one of the most recent presidents who has made significant strides in uplifting Liberia and its people out of poverty is George Weah. This is not coming from me. You can go into Google, you can go into whatever you want search machine, just type in that question, you get multiple results. In 2022, President Weah launched the ambitious Accelerated Community Development Program, the ACDP, that aimed to help Liberians climb out of poverty, improve their living standard, live a healthier life and longer life while reducing gross inequality between the rural and urban areas. The program will focus on poor people with limited access to basic social services and infrastructure in rural and urban areas. The government aim is to mobilize $100 million for the first 3 years of the program, 2022 to 2025. With support from UNDP, the government of Liberia is currently negotiating with other developing partners. Let me remove this thing here so we can see the last portion of that. Other development partners to secure a full financing needed to lift all Liberians out of poverty. And this is why we title it as George Weah, the man who is making Liberia successful. I'm not here to tell you that. But when we talk about making progress, he is making progress. He is making progress. And what I also want you to understand too, when I say he's making progress, from today on, as you go out there, you listen to Joe Boga. Joe Boga telling you that I will make Liberia I want to create a new Liberia. I will do X, Y, Z. Make no mistake. That's not what George Weah is all about. Let's read down here. George Weah will not make Liberia successful. Let me repeat that again. George Weah will not make Liberia successful. What is he going to do? George Weah is making Liberia successful. He is in the process of making Liberia successful. He's not like Joe Boga that say, I will. George Weah does not believe he will. What is he doing? He is in the present of making Liberia perfect. Capiz? So whenever you have any argument with anybody out there, don't tell them, say, George Weah will make Liberia successful. No. From what you have seen so far, he is making, not will, but he is making Liberia successful. He started making Liberia successful from the time he was introduced in Los Angeles, and everything he had gone through, the electoral process, or seeing Dillon and others getting elected, those are successes that were never able to get accomplished so far. That's what he's doing. So how do we wrap it up? We wrap it up by looking at what Mr. Weah has done. See for yourself. The things that George Weah is doing to make Liberia successful, number one, anybody who asks you what Weah is doing for Liberia, tell them George Weah is trying to make Liberia successful. When they ask you again, tell me how you make Liberia successful, look at the things, make them to understand, show them video, show them things in the country that the president is doing to make Liberia successful. The fourth line, make sure you get them to know, understand the difference of what Boca and Ellen did not do, that Weah is doing that made Liberia successful. And tell them that George Weah is the man who is making Liberia successful. And the last, George Weah will not make Liberia successful. Why? He is already making Liberia successful. They will not make Liberia successful belong to Joe Boyka. They did not make Liberia successful. But Weah is making Liberia successful. Until we leave, let's play this thing quickly for you guys here. And listen to what George Weah said here.
In the Senate, so he can work for you. You see, I live a life. My friends, most of them are Banamene here. You see, I grew up in Gibraltar, in the ghetto of Gibraltar. The one thing we don't do when we live in the ghetto, that's a culture. We don't like it. What I want to say to you, those that are coming to you and telling you otherwise, I'll say to you, don't mind them. Your roads are going to pick your roads. You see, the days of one person coming on behalf of Nima Kante, those days are over. Nima Kante will never be the same again in our second term. Those that are supporting the Unity Party candidate here in Nima County, they did it before. Liberia, you defeated them. So it's not the first time. Some of them ran in the presidential race. They think that Nima Kante for them, you defeated them. We all are on record, and you voted for me. I'm confident that you vote for me again. Young people, this is our time, this is our movement. Let us seize the movement to change our country. You know, when people lying to you, you know, it's sad, but see, we don't want to repeat it. Because if we repeat their lie, it's warranted. But I can tell you that those people that are saying that, I heard the other day they said that George Weah did not have to put money. Well, most of you are smart students here. The governors, they got some people that work in the Senate, they got some people that work in the House of Rep, and they get the executive branch. Every branch have their own function. So if you want role, or you want a kitchen, or you want a vocational school, if they can't do it, all they can do is complete the government. But why they don't realize that when they say government, that all of us in the government.
Everybody in the government, that woman.
Even those people that are coming to you that lie, is the people that signed the first document and the last document will come to me. So if somebody that signed before they come to me and telling you say that I owe them money, it's just a joke. People, they are not committed to their people, they're only committed to their own family. I'm a Liberian, I believe that is our country. I be the boss to bring the list. Those things cannot work with me because I am different. That's why you see people getting angry. Okay, we have any document that one signature missing, I refuse to sign it. And that's the frustration. That's the frustration.
All right, so guys, we'll hold the president there. Right after here at 8 o'clock, we're going to play a very good segment for you guys. I will not be live, but that's something that I prepare for you guys for your own evening relaxation. But the live podcast with me talking to you directly is coming to an end. And I would like to say a big thank you to every one of you guys who continue to believe in this platform. We are guided by value, we are guided by principles, and all we do here is to make sure that you out there get a clear picture of what we think our leader need to understand from us, our politician need to understand from us. My role here is to provide information in the form of awareness that is supported by data. Some of the data will be audio, video, documentary, because I don't want to make up stories that when you find out later on turn out not to be true. And that's why I do extensive research to present what I think you need to know on this platform. Please continue to support our platform. We are doing everything in our wee ways. Tonight, I want to congratulate those who are on YouTube. The turnout on YouTube today is more than the turnout on Facebook. And that's what got me going today. Those that are on Facebook, well, the YouTube people knock you down. And we'll be looking at the statistics in the coming days because we are in a new week to see how far our podcast is actually making headway out there. I understand that people have to do other things, so I'm not going to force you guys on the regular Facebook page. However, I had to commend the people who are on YouTube that are actually watching this. And I'm glad that the YouTube number is going up because that is where I think we need to be. So thank you guys so much for everything. And I hope to see you guys. But again, as something that would say what I'm looking for, something that like brother man would say to dash you guys and to give you a dash. And over here would say to provide you with extra and opportunity to watch this channel. We are going to sign off and then we'll be coming back at 8 o'clock to present to you guys a beautiful presentation that include Boca and President Weah. We will start with President Weah and then from there we'll get to Boca. And you're going to see how things have been put into context since October the 5th up to yesterday. So I'd like to say a big thank you to every one of you guys. God bless you guys. And I'll see you. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.